That's great. That's a good start. God.
Oh wait, I found it. There's no way there could be two Josh the Bug Dogs. This must be Josh the Bug Yo. Who the fuck is this other Skype guy in this call? I thought this was you. He's probably really different, but that other guy is, hold on. We have like an old account, Josh? Yeah. It must be. There's no way there could be two of these guys. I don't know. I don't think there's much of an overlay between like people who are front boxes and main Josh.
Okay, I still can't see the IM window. Oh, that's nice. There's no audio. Okay, people can only hear me. Yeah, great.
Also, I gotta figure out if my mic is right.
I think it's okay. I can hear you. Okay, Douglas, apparently we're all quiet.
Whispering into my mic.
Am I
the whole
quiet?
time.
I've been whispering
What
the
up?
whole time.
What the hell? This is you two are fucking so trolls.
Hello?
You invited us. Alright, Duckfist just needs fiddle with set.
Hello?
Hello, that's
Hello.
cool. You're cool, Josh. You're
You
cool.
hear me right?
Okay, cool, alright.
Shut the fuck up, Weasel. Oh my god.
Weasel's too good.
I'm too good. I don't even know what I'm doing, but it's too good.
Wow. Man, sick match in MK right now. I think it's just about over, though. Yeah, Detroit Ballin just won over Rio. That's huge, actually.
Yeah, I'm stuck watching Soul Calibur 5. Because I don't know where the
C5 is cool, man. Don't get.
No, I know, it's fun. But, like, I find that half the characters aren't interesting to watch.
I'm stuck watching Mega Man 1.
Oh, who are you?
Yes. Mega Man 1, truly the most esports game of all.
Yeah, the best fighting game. Gutsman footsies are not strong.
Mm. Alright.
Oh, that's a pretty cool layout, Duckfist.
Wow, some...
Good.
Yeah.
I enjoy this.
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Yes. The check is in the mail.
Just think
All right.
about all the free leftover fries you'll get at the next AGDQ.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave them in the refrigerator / freezer.
I got some fries left. Duckfist, you want these? Good work, buddy.
Covered in ants and frozen.
Frozen ants.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, someone's doing a bit of breathing.
Sorry, I'll stop.
There's no breathing in this. Fucking Weasel is... I can't mention anything that's wrong with it, because Weasel just immediately start also doing it. Man, sounds like someone's cat's dying in the background. Oh, that's my cat. Yeah.
Dang, Hawkeye. He's a newer guy too. And Thuggish was a national champion in Soul Calibur in the past. Like, that's actually a pretty big upset.
Is that Natsu one?
Yeah.
I like Natsu because she jumps around a lot, so it looks fun. Oh, this is grand final already.
Yep. Omega is just like, he is a legend. He won the Caliber 3 Nationals. He's one of the smartest players I've seen in any game. He's going to take this, I bet.
Is he the guy with the pad? Actually, they might
No,
both have
he's-
pads, so I can't see.
He's the
the-
guy
he's
using
the-
trackball.
He's the Jack Dominican guy. Yeah.
Alright. I don't really know which one's Dominican, but I know which one's jacked, so we'll go with that. Well, Tompa's giving up before we've even started.
Way to go, Tampa.
Wow, what a hero.
Tampa, you gotta prepare. You're on the show in like
Yeah,
3
you're in the show. You gotta get used to it.
And that week we have to start super late because I have something that I can't reschedule that I just remembered.
Just remember.
Just think about it, Tompa. You're being outdone by a Finn. You can't have that.
Oh, dang.
Burn.
Oh wait,
I
hang on. Do you want to know the other thing I know about Finland? He's not even Scandinavian, Tompa. You can't be beaten by that. Man, I know way more about Finland than I thought.
Finland's not Scandinavian?
No, it's
I
not.
know that it's now shaped like balls.
It is shaped like
It's
balls.
shaped like balls. Well, I knew that, obviously.
Yeah. Diesel knows all the ball-shaped countries.
Yeah, right, anything ball-related. If you ever put together a trivia team and you want someone to keep the ball categories covered, that's me.
Alright, we're into our fifth category, dicks and balls, and Fiesel's like, yes!
Imagine trivia
Play the
night.
Joker. Play the Joker. We got this. And storming into the lead after the dicks and balls are out, it's Team Los Hombres Sexicos. Oh dear.
Yep. Time to.
Oh man, that's man. Kusuru's tweets are just as good as everything else about him. It makes me really wish I knew the language. Because like you saw the one that Butters posted in IRC, and then another one. Actually, PJ, you'll love this. Before he played Filipino Champ, he straight up literally tweeted, "I'm going to put a Surfbot mask on Filipino Champ."
Too
Okay.
good.
Nightmare's another one of the characters I like watching in SC5 because he just destroys, he just blows things up. He goes nuts. It's awesome.
Nightmare used to be a lot more boring to watch in Caliber 2, which was the last time he was good at all, but this is definitely probably the best and the most fun version of the character, I'd say.
He just I don't know, he smashes bitches all over the ring. It's the only way I can put it.
He and Astaroth, it's just,
Bitches.
they look like they hurt.
Yeah. Man.
Uh,
I like that Simon is chasing the big skeleton knight guy.
Yeah.
I quite like that Medusa Head is just obviously just
Oh.
hanging out. Oh wow, look at this
Look
one.
at that.
Oh, Grant.
Yeah.
He's a bad boy.
We like Grant here.
Stabbing the hunchback. Is that a hunchback? What is that supposed to be?
I don't know
Looks
what
like
you're
a
talking
monkey.
about. That's
What's
like
getting stabbed by...
Sure. Oh, Fleaman.
Don't you
Yeah,
watch our
famous.
show? God. What do you, you're like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, he's trying to.
Okay, I muted the guys here. I'm going to do a quick audio test, so let me know if you can hear the background music. Should be pretty loud. Alright. Did you hear it?
Look at it, it's even got my house on the map there, in the bottom right.
How well was it compared to Skype audio?
good.
Duckfist, you might want to add
That's awesome.
Funk Doc as friend so you get a picture of him. Or a picture of something.
And you can rename him to Funk Doc, too.
Yeah, that's true. You can rename
Yeah,
it.
add the other Josh the Funk Doc too.
Yeah.
Because he probably needs some friends after he just got added to a really happening call and then removed.
The best part is he accepted my friend request, apparently. Have you renamed Bablo to Bablo too? Have you renamed to Bablo? Yeah. Do you not remember, like, the first... Oh, no, you weren't there the first show, were you? Never mind.
Nope, that was me.
PJ, you should have told him.
I don't have
You
an
can
option to
rename-
do anything to Bablo.
Just
I can't even add him as a contact.
You can just right-click on them and click... Wait, where...
Rename.
Yeah, rename.
Bablo, the only option Skype is giving me for you is block this person.
Oh no.
I can rename him.
So I guess if you want to be friends, you have to take action.
I can rename him to World's Happiest Finn. There he is. World's Happiest Finn. Well, okay, now he's at the end. That's kind of a big deal. But I put Bablo into contact, so I was like, maybe there must be a Bablo on here. And I found one Bablo_Finn from Finland. But because there were about 800 other Bablos from all over the world, I didn't add him.
Oh yeah, it's so annoying.
What
I
is
can't get Bablonic anywhere.
What is a Bablo that makes it so popular? Guess we'll never know.
Nope.
Not even now, after we've hinted that we might need to know. I'm gonna rename Funk Doc to Funk Doc 2, because otherwise I'm gonna look in a while and be like, man, who's this guy?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to look up Babylon on Wikipedia and see what it says, because
Hey, Funk Doc,
That's the way to find the
clicky
answer.
with a little f.
So the nick comes from... Well, I played Diablo too. And
What?
it sort of comes from there. We
What,
call
did-
the game Bablo.
DeBablo.
Yeah. Yeah, I am stupid.
Could you not say D? Was that too difficult? What is this letter? I don't...
I was
D?
very
D?
young.
D? B?
Foolish.
B? Bablo? Okay.
It's Flicky with the lowercase f and Feasel with the lowercase f.
Yeah,
lowercase.
I don't know
f.
about Funkdoc. Is Funkdoc lowercase?
I think he is.
I usually am, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you
Uh-oh.
mock it, PJ, but we're all lowercase f, so there must be a
Yeah,
good
well,
reason.
don't worry. I have 4 capital letters in my name. So
You could just take them all.
we still average out to 1 per person.
Is that how it is? The number of capital letters you got is how much of a person you are.
Yep. 100% of my name.
Capital letters. I am 15 people.
Yep. That's just how I introduce myself. Hello? My name is only capital letters and consonants. Take that.
Booyah. Oh man. So
It's cool. People will just think we're dead temporarily.
Yeah. Whenever you have Skype open, the little window thingy goes away.
I don't even know where that window is, but it's cool.
It's in the upper right if you have Skype minimized.
Hey, well, Exo, my real name is 1 syllable, so take that. You can't get less than 1 syllable.
Wanna bet?
Hang on.
My name's just pronounced the noise of a sneeze.
Hey, it's not a syllable, it's a noise. My name, I have to carry a stone around so I can drop the stone whenever I need to say my own name. It just means that if there's ever a rock fall, it sounds like everybody needs me at that point.
Fair enough.
That's cool, we'll just let the countdown...
Yeah, our countdown cannot be stopped.
Oh yeah, we need to something with the video music.
something.
Alright.
Oh yeah, you need to say it on Skype. Mute your mic on XSplit and just say, music started, and say 3, 2, 1, speak, or something. I don't know. You can use different numbers if you want, like 9, 52. Yeah, and then we can start.
We'll figure it out.
And I'm going to use these 2.5 minutes to watch some more Soul Calibur 5. Oh, never mind, it's over.
Yeah,
Go make
Omega
a
just
drink.
crushed.
Did he just crush him? That's what
Yeah.
Nightmare does, though.
It wasn't even close. Yeah, that's Omega. I mean, Omega placed 5th at Evo in Soul Calibur 4 with Zasa Lamel, who was almost the worst character in the game, in a very unbalanced game at that.
What do you mean? Hilda was totally fair. Not to
And
mention all the other characters that weren't even banned.
Amy, oh my god, don't get me started on Amy.
You
At
played.
least Hilda's fun. Amy just is the cure for insomnia right there.
You played. You played Cosmo, right? At the marathon.
Yeah.
I played him in Soul Calibur 2, right? I think I went
Oh,
18-0. But I got within one round like 7 times, but he just kept beating me. It was ridiculous.
Well, Chicago has always been one of the hot spots for Soul Calibur. So Cosmo's been around the area. He's played Thuggish Pond, Heart Nana, some of the other top guys in that area. So
He's pretty good.
he knows what's up.
We had a bunch of fun Talon mirrors. But I played everybody else who was there, and I beat all of them every time. But then it was like, okay, well I guess I have to play Cosmo, right? I just get smashed again and again. Oh. Silly, tucky, unblockable combo. Well, the unblockable is part of the combo, but it's annoying. Anyway, what's going on next? Oh wait, we got a show to do. Fuck.
Right, well, we're going to sit in
Oh,
silence for the next
show.
45 seconds.
Alright,
Yeah.
keep forgetting that.
Oh yeah, show notes too. Let's open those.
Oh yeah.
That'd be bigger,
I
right?
should start thinking about what I'm going to say this show.
Well, you've got like 2 hours because you've got to have just the one,
You say one
One
thing,
singer,
like,
I'm going to say one really insightful thing. That's
Yeah.
about it.
and
Alright,
that's
I'm
gonna be
cut
the
straight
show
to like
title.
10 seconds, guys.
aren't you meant to like lead this show though? Because it's Castlevania.
Am I?
No, you're not. I just
Yeah.
thought I'd put some pressure on you at the last minute, but I realised it wouldn't work.
It's just going to make a quick call.
Alright,
Leave
here we
you
go.
guys on your own.
5 seconds.
We have never seen this
Hi
before.
guys, we were just watching that video.
We're mesmerized by our own intro video.
So,
Yes.
okay,
Mega props to
Duckfist outdid
Duckfist.
himself again. We hadn't seen that. That was ridiculous. Anyway, music by Herb Black. Welcome to the show, everybody. Episode 3 with Castlevania 3. Thanks for joining us this fine evening and for not watching Final Round. That's good. As always, I'm Flicky. I'm here with PJ.
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 Yes.
Hi, I'm PJ.
Are you gonna? Are you,
I
DJ,
assumed I didn't have to say anything. You just
gonna be Diesel this week, or?
yeah, I'll be here this week.
All right. So we got PJ.
Hi.
Hello.
And Fiesel.
Hello.
And special guest Pablo
Hello.
and Funk Doc.
Yo, Hype Scoops Esports.
The most esports stream on the internet right now.
It's true.
Welcome to the show. Castlevania 3, of course, this week. We're going to get right into it. Oh, no, wait, recap, sorry. PJ, are you good?
Oh no.
What have you been doing this week, PJ?
I actually had a pretty good week.
Did you?
Yeah, I recorded 3 new ILs for Castlevania HD,
Alright,
which is good.
cool.
And I set a new record early this morning
For what?
for Wiz.
Is-
Probably after I
That-
fell asleep.
Did you do that right
Yeah.
after you woke up? You just woke up, took a
No, I
whiz,
did
and
it
you were
right
like,
before
wow,
is-
Did it right
Done.
before I fell asleep, actually.
that's the shortest whiz I've ever taken. That must be a world record.
This is the adaptation of The Wizard of Oz that has Michael Jackson in it, right?
Yes,
That's what you're
that's
referring
the
to?
one, the Wiz.
Oh, cool.
That's it.
Right, so PJ either went to the toilet really well or watched an entire movie quite quickly this morning. Or
I did both, actually.
Good. Fiesel, how have you been?
Oh, it's been alright, except for the video games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've confirmed that Castle Excellent run was
Yeah.
actually legit, so...
Oh yeah, there's a better Castle Excellent / Castle Quest run out there. So I'm redoing my my SDA submission.
Yeah, it's
Oh, damn.
3.5
Yeah,
minutes faster.
Yeah, just better routing, basically. A lot better routing.
But it didn't look like it was that difficult to pull off, so...
No, it's actually looks like it's easier than the route that I was using.
Yeah.
So all the better.
Oh,
That's
you know what
cool.
you should do? You should submit this run and then just claim it's hard mode.
All right,
and
I'll
then
say it's hard
redo
mode.
it. And then that'll
That's a
be-
good idea.
Oh.
Who will know?
That's how
Nobody,
we do
I
it.
think.
Alright, my week, I went from, at the beginning of this week, I ran Bayonetta. Just Bayonetta. And now, apparently, I run 3 games. I started rooting out Ape Escape 3, and started doing that. And it turns out, I think the PAL version, Surreal and I reckon the PAL version's, like, exactly the same, even speed-wise, so that's pretty cool. So I don't have to spend a bunch of money buying import stuff. Which means the guy I promised to buy his PS2 off on eBay will be very happy with me. And then turns out I now run Left 4 Dead. I didn't
He's a
know
Left
this.
4 Dead runner. Wow.
Yeah, apparently. Someone in IRC was like, "Who wants to play?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll play a bit." And turns out they were speedrunning the campaign, so I now do that also. It's pretty easy actually. So, I mean, as long as there's one person worse than you, it doesn't matter how bad you do. So, and luckily there is someone worse than me, so it's all good. It worked out. So yeah, that was my week apparently. My PC now also works.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
That's too
I know.
bad.
It kind of
It's having
sucks.
fun, the crashing.
Can you send it back anyways?
No, I don't think I can. The story had gone around, apparently the courier office, that I have such bad luck with the PC. When the guy gave me the parts, he said, "Good luck." Alright, I'm a
Nice.
bit worried now. And then, so Bablo, what have you actually been up to? I guess, I don't know, if anything.
You mean speedrun wise?
Yeah, well, you can tell us
Well,
if you want.
actually nothing for about 2 years.
That works.
Yeah, works. But I'm deciding I should pick up game. If that makes any sense.
What do you think?
What- Yeah, what are you thinking?
Mike will hate me, but I will say it's Contra Rebirth.
Oh, Contra.
Mm.
I love that game.
Well, who doesn't, right?
Mike.
Which,
Yeah,
which version is
doesn't.
Contra Rebirth?
Excuse
Oh,
me?
wait, that one. Yeah, okay. I know that
Yeah,
one.
it's on the WiiWare.
Yeah.
It's the one with the swords, right?
The what?
Hardcore. No, wait, which is the one with the sword?
That's-
You can play the sword people.
There's swords in
That's hard.
Contra.
What's that one? Sorry, VJ.
Hardcore Uprising.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then Funkdog, I guess you've been playing CV3, right?
Well, this week, it's actually been more getting caught up in school stuff after some attempts earlier on. I was just getting burned out on the game and constantly getting close, but not quite the sub 31 I'm looking for. So, Yeah, I had a bunch of school stuff to do. I did great on all of it. It's looking fantastic for me as far as the semester goes, and then I've just been watching Final Round. So I think I'll actually do some attempts tonight whenever Final Round's done.
That works. That works for us too, because then people
there
can go
was-
watch you after the show.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, 4 a.m.
Hey, don't
Well,
worry.
Final Round will still go a little bit while longer, but
Pablo,
we gotta see Kusuru. We gotta see Kusuru.
We'll
Yeah.
just start drinking. If you didn't know, the show is dedicated today to Kusuru, to Grant, and also to the mysterious other Josh the Funk Dog I found on Skype. Dedicated
unfortunately,
to all three of you.
he unfortunately couldn't join us because he didn't answer the call.
I was
Otherwise, he would
waiting
have
for
been.
Funk Dog to get online because we had a Josh the Funk Dog in this call with us, and Funk Dog wasn't online, and I was like, "Where the hell is he?"
Yeah.
He's not here yet. Turns out, different account. All right. Recaps. We done recaps. Cool. Let's go straight into news, which I don't actually have any news this week.
Oh, I have a
No news.
news-based question for
Oh.
Josh.
All right.
Go.
I saw that there was a Mystic Quest submission. That wasn't yours, was it?
Definitely not. I have not gotten a submittable run for that. Like, my goal time for a single segment of that was going to be around 2:45 or thereabouts,
Okay.
and 2:50
Yeah.
is my best as of now.
Was that the run that I saw that had amazing Pazuzu luck and pretty much nothing
Yeah.
else?
Then a bunch of the bosses were dicks. Yes.
Yeah.
that one.
Okay.
So yeah, does anyone else have news? I don't have any.
I mean, I guess for general speedrunning news, there's that Essentia's 100% Chrono Trigger run from last night, which I believe she is going to submit. Correct?
Yeah, she's submitting
Yeah.
that. I guess we can pull that out. That was also a world record too. So
That was.
That
It
makes-
beat the segmented run by like 45 minutes.
yeah, it's also beats the Japanese times, which I'm assuming the Japanese.
Go on.
You're not allowed to type while I'm speaking.
You don't have to read while you're speaking.
It beats the Japanese time. I'm assuming the Japanese version of the game's faster for text. Is that true? That sounds about right.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. So let's transition into world records, which again are in a different order on my sheet of paper than they are on Duckfist's stream. So, alright, let's just go by what the stream says this time. So, I guess this is solid news. The Super Mario 64 runner Honey decided that Siglemic was, and Nero and all these other guys weren't good enough at Mario. So he just popped up out of nowhere and took back the 70 and 120 star records in a
Dang.
few days. Apparently he hadn't played for 3 months according to Sicko. So...
Wow. That's pretty
Wow.
beast.
he came out, he sub-50'd Super Mario 70 star, he got 49-42, which, I mean, to just come out of nowhere and do that is ridiculous. He got a 147.05 120 star, which I think is like 30 seconds faster than Sig. Is it? Something like that.
Sounds about right.
5 seconds faster, apparently. According to the voice you guys can't hear, I just realised. Yeah, as I recall, Sicko said that he was about a minute behind Siglemic's normal time at a certain point. So it seems Siglemic could still easily beat this time, but he just isn't consistent enough, I suppose.
Well, he had to stop to eat lunch, so that's why he was a minute behind.
That's a fast lunch.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you're a pro, Fiesel. When you're
Well, he did the 4-packet oatmeal race. I think that was his lunch.
I mean, if it was eating hot dogs, I could pull that off. I could do a 1 minute lunch.
You know, you strike me as someone who would be good at eating hot dogs, Fiesel.
Oh, sure.
You just got that look about you. I bet you are too, PJ.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well, second place. Fiesel beat me last time.
Honey doing it as all good speedrunners do, and just coming out of nowhere and basically slapping down the other runners who think they're good at the game.
Yeah. So
Come
I
out
think
of nowhere,
next week
beat the
EXO is going to have time.
You mean Exo's going to have the Super Mario 64 record?
Yeah.
That
At this
would
rate.
put it past him. He could do it. And then next up on my... Wait, where are we on my list? Oh man, I don't know, let's just go with this. DKC All Levels by TJP. Now we need to quickly explain this, right? He is, it's not Warp Plus, but it is Warp Plus. It's all levels, but it's got warps, but it's not got warps.
Yeah,
Okay.
he plays through all the levels, but when he gets to Worlds 3, I think it is, he goes back using the Funky Kong plane to World 1, and then uses the warp to go halfway through the orangutan gang level. Because I guess the time that you spend on the map, it doesn't count towards the in-game time.
Alright, hang on. I screwed up. Let's skip. Forget we mentioned Donkey Kong. I don't know where to go next on this sheet. Darkfist, tell me. Where do I go? Can I do Rygar?
Chaos.
Let's go with Rygar. We're gonna go with Rygar. Okay? Darkfist hasn't said anything, so I'm gonna assume we're alright. This is why I didn't want a good video to start. Right. 24-16, Darkwind Dark Rygar. 2 records, 2 weeks, right?
That's right. Last week it was Zelda. This week it's Rygar. And
Wow.
that is like about 45 seconds faster than Arctic Eagle's run that's on SDA. And I've been trying all week to beat that. And Rygar is a brutal game for speedrunning, and it's just kicking my ass. Attempt after attempt after attempt, ruined by bad RNG or just, easy places to die. So that is quite an achievement.
I saw you playing around on that. It made for quite an entertaining stream. Of you
Maybe.
just trying to jump a pit that you had no possible way of getting across.
Right, or like the screen will just fill up with these flying monsters and you have no place to dodge them, and so you just gotta die. Yeah, that's what happens.
So, now, if I got this right, Arctic Eagle came out and beat the Zelda 2 record last week, right? Because someone took it from him.
Yep, so
That
who knows, maybe that'll happen with Rygar.
Maybe
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's
Now-
getting pretty tight though, like I couldn't see it getting much lower than 24 minutes even, We, like, Darkwing and I have both been kind of working on it and routing it and finding improvements and things like that, and I really don't see how you could save much more time than what Darkwing's got right now, so
Well,
it'll be interesting.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe a Japanese runner will just end up with some crazy route and just beat the time, and
Yeah.
you'll all be annoyed.
Oh yeah.
12.5 minutes.
That tends to be what happens recently. I hope it happens to them as well, that they're like, I just don't get how Mega Man 10 can be any quicker, and then they see like our runs which are 4 minutes faster and being like, shit, I never thought of that. Alright, now
I'm
this
still
is...
waiting for the MMX scene at Japan to just explode, because they're like 10 minutes behind our runs.
they're not,
And
they're
then
not
one of
too
these
good.
days, they're going to submit a run that's like 4 minutes faster than Caleb.
Alright,
Just
so
wait.
this is a cool run. This is like the surprise of the week, because I knew about this record, but I wasn't going to put it on the show, and then Feasel sort of mentioned it, and we all watched it and decided it was amazing. So, Twinkle Tail in 1851 by Cent. Now, is this game Japanese only? I know he's playing in Japanese, but
Only? I'm not sure.
it's a Mega Drive or Genesis game.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking game. It's like
Yeah, it's a really
top-down-
fun game. I
Yeah.
played a bit of it, and it's just like, yeah,
It's like a
great.
top-down run and gun, and
Yeah.
it looks really fun. It looks really cool, and it's a really good run he's got too. Like, I don't know. Go check out that run. I mean, it's only 18 minutes 51. We'll have the link up. That's something I should mention actually. Now we're here. In the show notes or in the info, you can see we got a link to the Sunday Sequence Break link database. It's just below the Speedruns Live SDA and TAS videos link, which Feasel is looking after, and he's going to put all our run links in there. So
Yep. I
after
got
the
last week's
show-
done, and after the show, give me some time, and I'll put all the links from today's show up in there.
Yeah. So, yeah, Twinkle Tail is a really good run, and Cent's pretty funny while playing it. Partway through, he starts selling his soul to the Kraft Macaroni Dragon, is it? Or is it Dinosaur? One or the other. He starts talking about all sorts of things, optimistic outlooks on life. It's pretty funny, actually. So, that's a good run. Go check out Twinkle Tail, definitely. Especially if you've never seen it before. It looks awesome. Then we got Chrono Trigger. Now, PJ, you watched this, right?
Yeah, I saw the entire thing.
Did anybody else here watch Essentious Chrono Trigger?
No,
did-
I only got in at the Zeal fight near the end.
Oh, okay.
I was going to watch, but somebody said, "Oh, she probably won't submit it." So I was like, well, "Okay, then I won't bother." So,
Easily swayed.
yep.
Yeah, she gained time, like, I think the first split she lost like 13 seconds, and the second one she lost like 12, and then she gained time in every single split after that. So she ended like 8 minutes ahead of her record.
Wow.
I think the
RPG
real time
runners.
was like 5:57, 5:58, something like that.
That's
Which
pretty
is-
good. We got it written down actually. Let me double check.
Yeah, it was insanity.
Yeah,
5:58
5:58
looks
real
like.
time. Now, for the record, we were saying we're pretty sure the Japanese version's probably quicker by text, and that is still 3 minutes faster than the Japanese time. So
Yeah,
the
it was a
Japanese
crazy
version-
run.
Yeah, it's probably, I mean, at least 5 minutes faster by text. Those RPGs normally are. So, yeah, real good time, and that's 100% single segment, so...
Yeah.
I guess is
That
she
is being
practicing...
submitted.
Is she going to do that at Summer Games, do we know, or...?
I'm
Oh,
not sure. I don't know what the plan is for that.
I don't know if it's been decided what the big RPG is going to be, for sure.
But we'll see, we'll see. Alright, now, if this sheet is correct, which I don't know if it is, we got I think this is just a quick mention. Yeah, this is a quick mention one. So Resident Evil 2, 1 hour, 16 minutes, 52, Claire B by Cock. So that snuck its way onto the show notes, so I'm going to read it anyway, so...
Yep, he got that run late last night.
So there we go. That was snuck in here by somebody. We got, yeah, DKC. Right, PJ. What
Yeah,
did you
sure.
do?
So continuing my explanation.
This
of
is a sequence break, right? This is a war.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So TJP plays through every level of the game, but when he gets to Orangutan Gang in World 3, he goes to Funky Kong's airplane thingy and flies back to World 1. Because there's a warp that you can do. Oh, sick jump roll. There's a warp that you can do if you try and enter a level between the first and the second stage, it'll be like, sure, there's a level here. It's halfway through Orangutan Gang. So it's actually faster to go and fly all the way back to World 1 and then use that warp because the in-game time doesn't actually count the map time. So he uses a warp, but still plays all the levels.
Is it faster real time as well? Do we know? Or
I'm not sure. It would probably be close.
probably be close. All right. So
Because
I
the
mean,
warp takes you like halfway through the level.
we finally got a look at the real time. So that's 37:14 real time. So just to compare, Japanese, I think the previous record was 37:32, right? That's what I've got anyway. That's what I've got written down. So that is a world record for all levels, for sure. And
Yeah.
he's not submitting right because of some mistakes.
Yeah, I think he had like 2 deaths or something. At least 1 death. I thought there were 2. And he lost Diddy a few times and had to use Donkey Kong,
Ugh,
which is just unacceptable.
that's not good.
Unacceptable.
I didn't even know he was in this game.
I thought it was just like the name of where he lived was just Donkey Kong Country. I didn't realize he was actually in the game.
Yep.
You know, like Silent Hill is called Silent Hill. There's not a character called Silent in it. I just realized none of you probably own a PS1, right?
No, not at all.
I'm sorry. Silent Hill, that's where my grandmother is. That's her retirement.
Silent Hills. So you never have to hear from her again, right? They just ship her off to Silent Hills. Peace of mind for your family, but not for her. Alright. Then, because this is the Sunday sequence break, congratulations to Riz. 3 world records, 3 shows, all in Donkey Kong Country 2. He broke the 102% record. He got 132.36, which I think beats the old record by like 3 minutes or something.
Wow. Just got like all the runs stockpiled.
Yeah,
I guess now is the time to show this 4th best time that I have.
Yeah. We're going to eventually just rename the show, or this section, to Riz's Records section. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Riz, so present new records.
As far as I'm aware, I think that means he has all the categories. Yeah, he has the world record in every category for Donkey Kong Country 2. So congratulations, Riz. Remember, you can check him out. Riz Rhythm is his Twitch. The quality is not great, but you know, just so you know. Right, and then we got Yoshi's Island, which has been a bit all over the place. So a few days ago, Do You Bath, I can't remember what his actual Japanese name is. He got a 3 hours, 3 minutes and 1 second. Then Trihex that night got a 3 hours, 4 minutes, 4 seconds. So both did pretty well. And then Kada, or Maple, so his name's Maple translated apparently, Kada if you're Japanese, just like was like, oh, by the way, I got a 3 hours, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Then I've also heard rumors that he's beaten that, and it's like 2 hours 57 now, but I haven't seen any proof of it anywhere, so...
We're going to go with the verified.
Yeah, we're going to go with the
5
3 hours, 5 seconds, because I know for sure that actually happened. So, yeah. I mean, that time keeps going down, so the milestone may have been hit, the 3 hour milestone, maybe not, we'll see. But we'll keep going. Hopefully Trihex will sort of take that in. Maybe Carl will throw down for that. You can't let the Japanese win, right?
I don't think so.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't. I'm not quite up to date on whether you can or not, but...
Well, they've proven that they can, but...
Yeah, well, we'll just
Yeah.
ignore the evidence, because we're
Yeah.
Westerners.
Well, I'm betting that by next week it'll be breaking the 2 hour barrier. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's borne out.
I'd love to see how they would even think about doing that. Yeah, this 10 is actually 100. You just can't see it, right? Just, well, when that 100% category is exhausted, are we going to see the return of low percent Yoshi's Island, do you think?
Oh, I hope not.
Alright, and then in the, as we predicted, the Ocarina of Time record. We're pretty sure this is actually up to date now. If it isn't, you can blame the Speedruns Live channel, because nobody corrected me. 47-41 by ZFG, with the new Ganonless Warp, of course.
That run was insane.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I saw that run too. He was saying that like 47-20 or so would be the limits with his route, but it was pretty much a flawless run straight through.
Wow.
I think he pause buffered one trick, one of the mega flips, so you could save time there. He missed one super slide, so it took 2 tries on that. And there was like one other thing. I forgot, but like the run was so clean.
So I'm guessing that's a different route to Cosmos, is it? I mean, because I imagine these guys could probably map out what the fastest route for this would be. I mean, they do it enough in Bingo.
Yeah, I imagine by now it's the same route.
Yeah. They probably, yeah, no, they're pretty good at setting routes pretty fast. So that's all we got for records. However, we got a task this week. We made sure we got a task, and it's quite fitting, right? Japanese version of Castlevania 3, 28 minutes 35 by Scrimper. Now, Bablo, you know all about this, right? And
Yeah,
Josh should do too. So you were telling me he used your route, like a progression of your route, I guess?
Yeah, I got to level 7 or 8 in my task, and it's mostly the same, except he had the ceiling glitch, which, I don't know, puts you pixels inside the wall, so you can actually enter the wall. And
Oh, it was Grant too, actually, wasn't it? I forgot to mention it was Grant.
Yeah.
So Josh, have you seen this too? I think Josh died.
What's up?
I'm right
Have
here.
you seen...
No, we're not talking to you, PJ.
I want to know how deep your own voice sounds in your head, Feasel, that you think everybody else is that high-pitched. Alright, let's
He
fucking
just
talk.
got his headphones are not working.
What do you think of this task, the CV3 task, Japanese version?
So, I I actually, most of it I had seen already because I had heard that some new tricks had been found back when I started working on this improvement for the Grant Run. So I went into the Task Videos IRC and talked to Scrimpy, and like he gave me his WIP, which at the time went about halfway through level 7. So I saw most of the major tricks, and that's how I found out about the corner grab glitch and a lot of that stuff that I worked in the run. So yeah, a lot of it wasn't new to me, but seeing the last couple levels inspired me to figure out a couple other new things, and one of the tricks it uses in the last level I use in the speed run now. I figured that out. So it's definitely an amazing run. Unfortunately, the time is just it's not really comparable to my run in a lot of ways because there's a lot of cancel glitches with the Japanese version, which are frame perfect, and they're just never going to happen in a real run. But there's some useful stuff from it to be taken, for sure.
So it's always nice to see a task that actually helps instead of makes you depressed at how you'll never be that good.
They often help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
they
being
do a lot. Unless it's the Castle Excellent task.
Yeah, just being different versions of the game, I can pop out of that. Like, I can't do that anyway.
I remember you talking about the difference between versions, but we'll get to that when we talk about CV3.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Right.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
yeah, let's join us in part 3. All right, so are we through records now? That was pretty quick.
Bioforce Ape 510 Frozen Cup. Don't forget Bioforce Ape.
Bioforce Ape. Hell
Is
yeah.
that actually
Exactly.
a thing? I thought you were trying
It's a
to
real
make up
thing.
a game.
No, it's an unreleased NES game that was it had a preview in Nintendo Power, so people for years have been wondering about it, and it was pretty much the holy grail of unreleased NES games. And then just maybe a year or two ago, they finally found a legit copy of it.
So,
Oh man.
Bioforce Ape, world
Bioforce
record
Ape.
by Frozen Cup.
Frozen Cup.
Is
has
that
taken.
5 minutes 10, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a real short game.
I was just checking it's not 5 hours 10.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either.
Okay, 5 minutes 10 real time, 5 minutes for game time. So, where in the news the aim was originally to talk about famous, popular games in the mainstream that everybody
It's
knows
infamous.
about. Apparently,
That's a kind of
Bioforce Ape
famous.
has made it on. So, that does sound awesome though, Bioforce Ape.
Hey, if Wiz can make it, anything can make it.
Bioforce Ape really is amazing. You're an ape in like a Speedo or something, and you run and jump insanely high, and you do wrestling moves to evil midgets, and I don't even know what else.
You roll on the ground like a log a lot.
Yes, I forgot
And
about
you
that.
ride in a minecart. Yeah.
Wow. All of
We've
that
educated
packed into
people.
just 5 minutes.
I mean, I found 2 pictures which I don't think are actually from Bioforce Ape, but I hope they are. It's a guy being punched.
Flicky, if it's the ones I'm thinking of, it was a Photoshop hoax meme.
Alright, I thought. Okay,
the
it
dirt
does
butter
seem like, yeah, I am made of the butter. Do you
Yes.
want to game?
That was before they found the real copy. When someone posted on a forum that they found a copy of the game, and they did that as a hoax.
Wait, this picture Bioforce Ape? If that's Bioforce Ape, we need to get that on the stream, because that is incredible. It sounds like what you're describing.
Alright, let's see.
Wow.
Oh wait, hang on, I
That
found a
looks good.
bigger one. Or a more complete picture. Here we go, there we go, we can get that one up there. So, Bioforce Ape by Frozen
That
Cup.
was fantastic.
That's a
Wow.
good picture. We need to send that over to Sonicu.
I was just gonna say. That's
I'll be
another-
the ape. PJ, you can be the thing in the green blob.
Alright, sounds good.
Hazel, you can be whatever the blue thing is.
The blue tentacle monster. Done.
I think it's just a dude in a tentacle suit.
Fiesel is the
Right.
castle in the background, I think.
Bioforce Ape. Alright, well let's go straight into the filler section. Which I'm quite happy about this filler, so... Funk Talk, do you mind if I set the scene before we go into your legendary story of what happened to you, Cypher, Withheld, and Herblat?
Indeed. Go ahead.
Let's set the scene, alright. So this was... We'd finished the marathon. It was just over. We had 2 hours of credits or something. A bunch of us ran off to try and play Bomberman on Saturn Bomberman 10-player. But we all noticed we were a bit hungry, so we were trying to think of where to go. And then word got out that some people had gone to the IHOP. There was an IHOP just down the road, right? So some people had gone. Now, Feasel, Funk Doc, I, and a few other guys, we all like grouped up to go. We were like the second lot to leave.
After the cigar smoking, you left.
Oh
after
yeah,
cigar smoking.
God damn
It was
it!
like 45 minutes of cigar smoking.
We were
in
smoking
between.
cigars.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my god.
That
And
is-
we were setting peppers on fire too.
Yeah. That was one of the most surreal moments of my life when I stepped outside to get some fresh air and I just saw a ring of good guys just smoking cigars, just like, hey Flicky, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? I
Yep.
just walked into the 19th century.
Well, we were circled around a burning pepper, which was probably the most important detail.
So anyway, after that, we went off to IHOP. Now, I remember this because I went with Feasel, because Feasel told everybody that his car didn't really work.
It didn't really work too well, but it made it to IHOP.
Now, I'm a good friend, right? So I was like, you know what, Feasel? I'll go in your car with you. I don't care if the car breaks down and we're forced to eat each other in the cold. It doesn't matter, I'll come with you. So then Herblat, now this is important, so pay attention, guys. Herblat got in the car with us, and Mecha Richter was the other one, right?
Right.
So we went off to IHOP, Funk Doc followed us with the other guys. We stopped in IHOP. It was 1 a.m. and before they knew it, the staff at IHOP had a full IHOP. It started off with like one guy eating in the corner and the 4 people, and it filled up like 40 people in there eating, wanting food. So then when it came time to leave, Herblat wasn't anywhere to be seen, so we took
We took was it Molotov?
yeah, we took Molotov instead. So we couldn't find Herblat, so Molotov was, Molotov came with us.
Right. Well, 5 people in, 5 people out. We left with the same number of people we came.
Yeah, exactly. So we figured that Herblat was a big enough guy, and there was plenty of people still there, right? So we drove off, got back to the center, and this is when the magic happened, right, Funk Doc? Well, actually, here's one thing. Can I start before we go? So, Feasel, you drove. PJ, did you also go to IHOP? Did you drive too?
No, I didn't go.
Alright, so Feasel,
I was inside warming my feet.
can you remember what the trip was? How did you get from the center to IHOP?
That street that the center's on, I turned left and I drove it.
Yeah. So you turn
That's
left
all.
and you drive straight.
Just
So-
drive straight.
Funk Doc, what happened?
What happened was, after the IHOP trip ended, let's see, I get back in and everyone's like, okay, everyone's going, okay, it's a straight shot. So we're continuing on the road, and then I don't know if there was some point where we were supposed to turn because going straight became a different road. I think that's what happened. And then from there, we ended up in, yes, the IHOP vortex. Oh boy. So, it's me, Cypher, Withheld, Herblat, and we're all just going around trying to just figure out, okay, where are we at? Where do we want to go? And, I didn't have, other people, told us how to get there. We didn't have any kind of directions or anything. And it was just magic. Everything we would try would end up being... It would end up being like the wrong way, and no matter where it was, we would always end up next to another IHOP somewhere or other. I swear to you, we had like there were 3 or 4 different ones that we passed by during this trip. I kid you not.
They're just looking out for you.
So, yeah, that's the point. I think we were trying to call people, and then they couldn't really figure out like where we were at the time, and
It's not like any of us knew where anything was.
exactly. That's the point. And so it's basically just us, being powered by my iPod and the funk tunes in there, and me putting on like Fred Falke and Herblat getting all excited for it because he didn't know Americans were into that stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, and then I show him some more stuff. Like, oh, is this French? Like, of course. He's like, yeah, okay, they know their shit. And we're just going on with that, and And then Cypher was scared the whole time because he was like, "Oh, I've never been in a situation like this before," and he was just he was getting tight. Like
Oh, no.
I've been in this kind of thing before, so for me, it's fun. It's just fun for me, like just trying to figure out where you're at. Like it's almost a game for me at this point. And then and Craig though, friggin' Cypher, like he was tight. He was just like, "Man, I've never been like this before. Like what the fuck is going on?"
I hadn't heard that. He gave the impression that he was all right when I talked to him afterwards.
he wasn't like he was a little bit anxious. And then, so yes, that's the point. Yes, I had power metal. See, my iPod, I like never delete any music I get on it. So there's all kinds of old random stuff I have lying on there to troll people with. So
From your power metal phase that you went through?
Yeah,
you know too well.
I went through a power metal phase, and every time I gave someone a lift in my car, they'd be like, "The fuck is this? What are you listening to?" I was like, "Power metal? What? Oh, it's power metal. It's pretty fun." "No, turn it off." "Okay."
And then they never want to ride with you again.
Exactly.
See, that's why I have that CD of Swiss yodeling in my car. Just for whenever I don't want to drive people anymore.
Yeah. See, PJ. That's why I recently got both Hulk Rules and the Macho Man rap album, and I unleashed both of those on my friend and Melty Blood player when we went to Winter Ball.
Nice.
Fun times.
What a good friend.
Where did you get to? What was the PC place? There's a PC place that became legendary in your hearts. I know that.
Yes. Oh my God! It was just in one of the random places we got off, and we thought maybe this will be it. Only it was nowhere near it. And then just in this little plaza there's a place called Friendly Computer Services, and the graphic of it, everything is just amazing. Withheld can explain also. We tried to take a picture of it, but it
didn't come out very well. No. So eventually, where did you get directions? Eventually you found a guy who knew.
In a CVS pharmacy, I think, of all places.
The omnipresent, the all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere CVS pharmacy in DC area.
Yes. Yeah, somewhere in a DC pharmacy. And here's the funny thing, because I asked the guy working in there, and he's like, "Oh, you just go on the highway and you get off on this exit." I'm like, and I just went back in and I yelled like, "See, you idiots! This is what I was right. I was right. This is right. This is what I was gonna do all along. I wanted to get on the highway and you wouldn't listen." Important thing I learned from that trip: never take advice for directions from Withheld ever again.
Well,
yes,
see, who you were going with? Does Withheld even drive?
I don't know. I just know clearly Withheld doesn't figure out directions.
So this is what happened where we were. So the input I like is that Herblat, because he went to the toilet and didn't get in the car with us, ended up on a 2.5-hour road trip. Was it 2.5 hours you guys were gone for? Something like that.
Somewhere around there, yes.
Yeah, because I was waiting for Cypher. I was like, "Come on, man, we need to play some we need to save some Twinkle Star Sprites or some Bomberman or something. Where the hell is he?" And after like 50 minutes of there not being Cypher or Withheld or Funkdot or Herblat, I just came to the conclusion they must have gone to bed. And I just didn't know about it. Like, they must have just wandered upstairs and gone to bed. And then it was literally 2.5 hours later after I got back, they all stumbled in. And I was like, "Where the fuck were you guys?" And they were all just laughing. Just don't even know what happened to them. It was pretty good. Although I missed out on an evening of Bomberman because of it. But that is the ultimate of our getting lost to awesome games done quick car stories. It was good fun for everybody except Cypher, by the sounds of things.
I think even Cypher at least appreciated the music.
It was obviously funked up with the high morale. You're keeping morale high.
Yeah, and then the morale was pretty high in general there. I gotta say, we did pretty good.
I would have been psyched to spend 2 hours driving around listening to the Punk Pod.
He said he loved it since. Yeah, I can see that. It's just he was just kind of scared. He's like, oh, I've never been in this situation before. I'm like, what the hell? Really? I've been in a bunch of these, man. I'm a veteran at this point. I could tell you about me driving to Green Bay through a blizzard for a tournament one time, but
See, we had that when we drove. We had to drive into Maine to drop Dragon Dark off when Hauser was driving me to Boston. And we got stuck in a blizzard too, and that was quite fun. Because Dragon Dark was like, yeah, it's just inside Maine, and it turns out it was like an hour and a half inside Maine, which in a blizzard is like 2.5 hours inside Maine. So that was good. The other thing about IHOP was, aside from the looks on their faces when they suddenly had to work that evening, was Withheld in his coffee. Do you remember that, Funk Dog?
Apparently he remembers.
I guess, yeah.
Feasel, do you remember?
No, I don't remember that.
Withheld ordered some coffee, right? And, like, he put some sugar in it, which is normal. And for anyone who's never been to IHOP, so if there's any Europeans here, they have, like, a bunch of syrup on the table for your pancakes. And they have, like, pecan syrup, like, strawberry syrup, all this sort of stuff. And Withheld's sitting next to me, or sitting next to Cypher, rather, and I just see him pouring all this stuff into his coffee. He had, like, pecan syrup in there, like strawberry syrup, like chocolate syrup, just stirring it all up.
Oh,
just like,
why?
like, what are you doing? He's just like,
That's horrible.
he didn't even give a good answer. He was just like, yeah, yeah. Oh my god. I just remembered that earlier. Oh dear. So
Sounds
Withheld,
tasty.
obviously not a fan. So I imagine sitting in a car with someone powered by that much syrup and coffee probably was a pretty fun journey. Oh man, IHOP. I think that's. I mean, I don't have anything else to that IHOP story except that we found out that hash browns are made in Switzerland. And Trihex was filming everybody, wasn't he?
They're made in Switzerland?
No, they were invented by Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh. I didn't think they were going to do this, but I guess they're going to run through all the Marvel Top 8 now, so we're probably going to have Kusuru matches during the Castlevania 3 segment.
No! Okay, we're going to have to find a way around this. We'll think. So, it is final round, and special thanks to Funk Doc for being on the show during final round.
Oh, of course.
It's been a really good tournament, actually. I've enjoyed it. It's nice to see all these old games again.
Yeah, final round and NEC are by far the best majors as far as supporting all the games. Always have been. Hitaka, no. Castlevania 3 is not more important if you really understand Kusuru.
It's not.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Kusuru's
Troll
probably
bad guy.
He's probably trending on Twitter right now, I guess. Or he will be after his game. So we'll try and get through CV3 while Kusuru is playing. But there's no promises. If there's just like a long period of
We'll get through whatever. We'll get through whatever here. I'm just gonna
Not be paying attention.
I'll do my best with the circumstances.
We'll just go on, we'll go on Funk Doc Autopilot, which honestly is about as much CV3 knowledge as any normal person can handle.
Yeah.
So we'll just have Funk Doc going with it. Alright. So, I mean, are we alright on fillers? Does anyone have anything else they want to add? If not, we'll throw it in at the end, but we can probably go into Castlevania 3 now.
Yeah, let's do Castlevania.
So,
Hell yeah.
we're a bit early on Castlevania on this split because we have Funk Doc with us. Funk Doc is guaranteed to explain everything in crisp, clear detail, so I thought I'd give him like a bigger slot this week. So there you go. And Bablo's here too to chip in. So Bablo tasked most of the game, right?
Yeah, most of it.
Most of it. And he's also our first non-me European guest, so congratulations on that.
Yay!
First
Represent
actual European.
Finland. Yeah, I'm not really European.
Not really European, no. They're like on an island near Europe.
Yeah.
Not the one you guys are thinking of, though.
Yep. Pablo, of course. For those who don't know, he's also the one who basically taught me everything about running Castlevania 1 and 4. He got me started from when I was learning those way back when and streaming myself, just dying over and over again. So he was the one who really got me up to speed on those games and ready for my first time playing them at Marathon.
So does he know even more than you do about the game?
1 and 4, quite possibly. Although I did figure out some new things about 1 during my run that he didn't know, like how holy water doesn't stack damage if you throw more than 1.
Yeah, I didn't actually test it. Which is sad.
I have stuff
Looked
like
fast.
that.
It's
I
not
have stuff
that
like
much
that.
slower the way I
Yeah.
did it, but yeah, it did save a second or two.
The way you're supposed to speedrun is to get the fastest time, and then when people question you, you say, listen, I have the fastest time.
You have
Obviously, that strat is
to you have
bad.
to make things up that
Yeah.
sound sound like they could be true.
Right.
So it's
yeah.
like, oh, why isn't why aren't you running at this point? Oh well, it's quite a thin ledge, and when you get near the ledge, it's strange. At this point, the like stumble animation takes longer, so it's just a bit slower to run here. It's just quicker to just walk.
Yeah,
And they're
it
like-
affects the spawns in the next level.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's gonna
That's
save
another
time.
good one. That's
The right answer is RNG manipulation.
RNG manipulation. Yeah.
see, that's PJ still using that for Lawnmower Man.
Oh, yeah.
When he's like, oh, this is way cooler than it looks because of all the spawn manipulation. Not actually.
Yeah, and it's not like anyone can contradict him because who the heck else
Yeah, I
knows?
dare you. Try it.
Yeah,
Poo Train tried it, and now he can't talk.
and now we haven't seen Poo Train since then.
Yeah, that is true. We haven't. So,
I got rid of the problem.
Castlevania 3. Now, this game, right? What's the history? Who know? What was like the original sort of first run for this?
Okay, here we go. So, Castlevania 3. So the first speedruns for this game were part of Tom Vadava's massive suite of runs for a gajillion different games back in 2003 before SDA even started accepting console games. So he got records for all 4 of the different categories. And for those who don't know, the 4 categories are defined by the 4 different endings you get in the game. So there's one for each of the 3 different partners you can recruit, as well as an ending for no partner.
So that's who are the characters? What's Cypher?
The main character is Trevor Belmont, who plays just like Simon in the first Castlevania.
Even looks like.
And then the other characters are Alucard, who has an afro in this game and shoots fireballs like his dad, like a three-way
Dracula
style.
spelled backwards. Sorry.
And he also can fly. That's his main thing.
He's the fastest, right? So any percent is
Yeah.
Alucard, right?
Right, because he can turn into a
Alucard-
bat and just fly wherever.
Yes. He skips way too much with his flying, and yeah, even though he's extremely weak against most bosses, he still saves time just through the flying. So he's the fastest route overall. Then the other characters, there's Sypha, who you can see in Soten in the Castlevania 3 bosses fights. And she's also been in Castlevania Judgments, which is not really a Castlevania. Let's just... Never happened. I shouldn't even brought it up.
So,
It's the other end.
just one thing. Is Cypher a girl or a guy? Because I've heard so
Cypher-
many things.
Sypha is a woman.
So is a woman, right?
Yeah.
It's just a
woman.
bad translation in the U.S. version, although the manual seems to play off that as well. But she is a woman. It's supposed to be a surprise until the ending, kind of like with Samus.
Right.
Take him with you?
You can-
Sure.
but you should take Grant because he can help out because he's fast.
And he climbs on stuff.
He does
Oh,
climb
yeah.
and stuff. Now, so okay. So what's happened after that? When did you start running the game? Well, you two start running the game.
Yes, well, actually, just to finish it off, the last character
yeah.
that I didn't mention before is Grant, but, well, we're going to talk plenty about Grant,
We,
so
we
I'll
always
just
forget,
say
we
that.
always forget to mention him. So
Yeah.
So-
He's the coolest character, but he's also kind of the forgotten one. He is very un-Castlevania in the way he plays.
but he's
As I'll explain
he's
later.
fast, so it's all good.
He can help
He
you
can-
because he is very fast.
Yeah.
He can change direction in midair. That's cheating.
So Bablo, when did you start like running 3 or playing through 3 a bunch?
Kind of late, actually.
Yeah?
Like 3 years ago, I played Castlevania 3 for the first time ever. Which is sad, I know.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Kids
I
do
would
it.
be competing at the speedrunning too, but I really don't like the US version's music. It's
Yeah, the
me-
Japanese version
oh
does
my
have much
God,
better
it breaks
music.
my heart.
I
The
think
Japanese version has so great music.
the music is really good in both, like what I've heard of it, except for there's 1 or 2 levels in the US version, but I didn't realize how good the music was until I started watching Funkdog stream a bunch.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah,
God,
definitely.
so great.
Yep.
And it's
I've. Oh, sorry. Go
And
ahead.
it's just better technology in the
Yeah, it
in
has
the
better technology.
console.
It has special chip on the... I don't know if it's on the cartridge or the console. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, since the music argument was brought up, well, I personally am very much on the side of the U.S. version's music for most of the tracks. Although my single favorite track in any Castlevania game, ever since I played this as a kid, is a riddle, which is the one in the second to last level, and I think that one is better in the Japanese version. Aquarius also might be better in the Japanese one, and that's about it in my opinion.
So I'm glad to have someone else from Europe who refuses to play an American version of something due to entirely aesthetic reasons. I won't play any NTSC SNES game because the whole thing is ugly, so I'm glad to have someone back me up on this sort of thing. It's very important to people like us.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like the boxy SNES. It's nice.
You don't
I
like
do. They stack easily. See? There you go.
The cartridges look like they would hurt if you stepped on them. That's one
That's
of my
'cause they
main
do.
issues. Well, there you go.
That teaches you to
Copy
not step on
protection.
your cartridges.
The nice
It's Nintendo
rounded
teaching us lessons.
Back me up here, Bablo. The nice rounded ones, the Famicom and that, are much nicer to step on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're almost nice to step on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I sleep on them. So great.
That's how you get so good at speedrunning. The secret
Yeah.
facts you won't learn anywhere
Right.
else.
You have like Uncle Scrooge's money bin, but full of cartridges, and you just swim in it.
It hurts the first few times when you're trying to learn how to dive into that, but it's worth it in the end.
It pays off in the end.
unless you're diving into an NTSC bin of SNES cartridges.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's no good. What were we talking about? Castlevania. Josh, carry on.
All right.
Take that, segue.
Yeah. So to continue again now with the history of it. So Tom Vodova did his speedruns back in 2003, and when SDA started accepting console games, obviously he submitted all of his records that he had, and a good number of those are still on the site today. And there's for being that long ago, they're very solid runs, and there's a lot of interesting techniques in there that you wouldn't expect to have been found that early, such as the 1-pixel jump with Grant on the ghost ship, which I'll explain later. And he also found this the fast way to fighting the sea serpent boss with holy water that involves throwing it on the edge of the platform so that the flame will hit one of the dragons and kill it instantly. And it's
Yeah.
not that easy to pull off. So
There's some
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
in
surprised
old
to see.
runs, yeah. There's some stuff in old runs where you just think, wow, like, they found that long, like, that's that precise. I mean, generally
Yeah.
standards have gone up, but there's some old runs where you're just like, well, Jesus.
Yeah, Tom is one of my favorite runners. Just because, like, when he did all of his runs, I think he submitted 19 at once.
Well, Feasel seems amateur compared to that.
Oh my god, I've beaten... You know how
Well,
many
that's
Tom
why
Vodova
people-
runs I've beaten? Come on.
That's why Diesel's going after all of
All
Tom
of them.
Voda's runs. That's the
He has
reason.
the same taste in NES games, which is all of them.
Which is no
Basically.
taste. You mean. But how many Tom Vodova runs have you beaten, Feasel?
Gauntlet, Deadly Towers, Castle Quest, ... what else? Adventures of Lolo. There's some other stuff. There's something else I can't
Was it
think
Rescue Rangers was his, or?
No,
of. No, that was Freddy.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Bayou
remember.
Billy, but you're getting handled.
Oh, Bayou Billy. Well, to be determined.
Why does Feasel always try to forget about that game, and PJ always reminds him?
Because
Sure.
shall not be forgotten. So Castlevania 3, Josh,
Yeah, that's what
I swear we're gonna get through this.
yes, we can do this. We can do this. So,
Oh, just
so
really
as to my own So back to my own
Yeah.
personal history,
quick
which
for
I
it.
think we're supposed to
I think-
discuss at some point here.
Yeah.
Well, Castlevania 3 it's one of the games that I had I had as a kid, and it's always been my all-time favorite NES game, and I will still continue to argue for it as just the best all around in terms of when you combine the music, the level design, the character variety, the branching paths, just everything. It's hard to think of a more complete all-around game from the 8-bit era, I would say. So, and it's always been my personal favorite. And
it's quite impressive in that regard, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
my
is.
favorite Castlevania easily.
Definitely.
Wait, 2 isn't your favorite?
Oh shoot! That's a close. That's a close.
Koreshi's not in here, so
I really do like 2. Oh.
shout
Well,
out to
this
Koreshi.
game is clearly the best because they realized that Trevor is so overpowered they had to kill him off from the series. It just doesn't exist in any other game.
Indeed.
It's too good.
So now speedrunning. I've always been curious about speedrunning this, and then I saw the Vodava runs and just kind of thought, well, okay, this is really good, whatever. And also at the time, I did Valkyrie Profile speedruns on the 2 main endings back in 2006 through 08. And after that, I stopped speedrunning because it seemed like SDA was making a move away from accepting VHS. That was the impression I had gotten, and there wasn't really any decent, cheap capture equipment available at the time, so I just kind of thought, well, whatever, and then I did more fighting game tournaments and school and whatever else then. But it was the SDA Marathon, actually the very first one, Classic Games Done Quick, that got me interested in this again, because I had been to MagFest and stayed at Mike Uyama's house before, like a couple years prior, and then he invited me to the first SDA meetup at MagFest, but that was the same time as Frosty Faustings in Chicago, which is a big Guilty Gear tournament, and I went there, ended up placing 5th in that, so that was why I wasn't at the first MagFest meetup. But he invited me again to CGDQ, and I figured, okay, not much better for me to do right now. It's just I'll see what this is all about. Wanted to meet some of these people. So I went, and it was just an awesome time, and it completely got me back into speedrunning. I just love the idea of having one chance live, having the pressure on you. That's what appeals to me as someone who's been a tournament player for over 10 years. So
Yeah.
that was kind of what drew my interest, and specifically the fact that Castlevania 3 and 4 were not in Classic Games Done Quick. That was the reason I started learning to speedrun those games. That was it.
That's a pretty good reason, honestly. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
The Shadow
be done.
Flash.
I just see some bad news. It looks like Kusuru's on the stream, so we're going to try and get through this. We're going to try and keep going. So, yeah, I mean, PJ, you only got into it 'cause the marathon's like pretty good for encouraging people to really improve and pick up stuff. Because do you remember how many like records and runs started being broken about last November, December before the marathon?
Yeah,
It was
a lot of them.
every day almost. So
Yeah.
it's all good, right? So the records. Can you remember? Well, I mean, what are the current records for each of the categories? I know Grant is probably going to be the most up to date for now. This is the
Alright.
Kusuro effect.
What's up?
I'm looking.
It's the current records. Do you what are they?
On SDA, the runs 3104 for no partner, and then 2754 for Alucard, 3302 for Grant, and 3053 for Sypha.
So you're planning on taking almost 2 minutes off of that Grant run.
Yes, I'll get to that later, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, to sum up my other SDA records on that
Oh, yeah.
one, so
Go for it.
I didn't tell the story right. Yeah, PJ, here we go. So,
Yeah.
I started learning Castlevania 3 and 4, wanting to speedrun these games. I started just with 3. I didn't start with 4 until later. But I started like around early, I think February 2010 or thereabouts, learning Castlevania 3. All the characters, and then late that summer after EVO, I decided I was ready to record runs, but I did not own any capture equipment at that time, or even an NES. So PJ graciously offered me his place to go and try to go play and get the records. Koreshi also offered me, although he ended up not being able to do it because of them moving, but much thanks to Koreshi for that as well. And so I went there, and it was in the span of about maybe like 3 or 4 days, I want to say, that I managed to get records on all 4 of the categories, beating Vadavas, and submitted them all.
That was insanity.
At PJ's house.
Yeah.
How much did you drink?
Actually, at the time, I don't think I was 21.
Oh,
So
I
there was
forgot
no-
America, yeah.
There was no drinking.
Oh, man.
So back then, I didn't have a DVD recorder or anything, so I was always recording with the Dazzle. I was using Pinnacle, too. I wasn't using, like, Virtual Dub or anything. I was using the software that came with it. So I couldn't stream because, like, any blip would cause, like, massive audio desync, because that software is horrible. So I rented a laptop from the school. Or actually, I don't know if I did that or if I borrowed a friend's. But we got a second laptop. And then to stream, we used, like, a webcam. That was, like, on a stack of cardboard boxes in front of the TV.
See, that's what's
It was-
good about the speedrun community. Any other community where you go in and point a webcam at the TV, people are like, what the hell is this? And they'll never watch you again. But
Yeah, it was a pretty ghetto setup, but it worked. It was pretty awesome.
So, see, how many of those records still stand from then? I mean, are you planning on improving them all, or?
Here's the deal. So, at the time, I had thought that, my Alucard run is clearly the best out of those, and that's the 2754. Now, I still currently have no plans to improve that run because Alucard's just a much simpler and more cut-and-dried character than the rest. He's basically just shoot fireballs and fly over and around things. So there's only maybe one minor trick that would save a couple seconds that I did not get in that run, and I still have never beaten that time. I've tied it once in a run since, but I've never beaten it.
So, because the runs are mostly, they're pretty execution, almost entirely execution, aren't they? Or are they? I think they are.
Yeah, okay. Castlevania 3 has some really significant luck factors, some of it in enemy behavior, but like Medusa heads, for example, they can spawn at different points, like different sides of the screen, and that changes some things. But the major luck issue with Castlevania 3 is weapon
Random
drops.
Yeah.
Any enemy is capable of dropping a sub-weapon, and when you pick up a new sub-weapon, it's going to be worse than the one that you're using, and also you lose your triple shot, like the double or triple shot. So it's just as good as dying, more or less.
Is there, Bablo, is there any way to manipulate that, or is it just basically keeping an eye out on it?
No way.
No way.
For a task there is, but it's not the
Shut
only.
it down.
By the way, Bablo, since I wanted to ask this, so you mentioned how it's only after you kill a certain number of enemies that then it gets this random chance of dropping. Like, is there a specific number, like how many before it comes into effect, or what?
When did I tell you this?
Okay.
I don't
I mean,
think I've investigated that, how it actually works.
that's what I had heard, but I mean, I'm not really sure.
That was the best possible response.
Yes, it really
Yeah.
was. That makes
I
you feel
actually
better, I
don't know.
guess.
I just say that it's not abusable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it.
So from what I recall of your run,
It's
basically
just sweet RNG.
you want the axe, or the in general, don't you?
Okay.
Or is the
Or
dash?
Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grant, okay, here's the thing. So all characters can use the stopwatch. That is the only sub-weapon that's common to everybody. Grant's only other options are the dagger, which is horrible as usual, and the axe. So the axe wins out by default. It's actually legitimately good for a good number of bosses, though.
Yeah, it's good for the one that lightning strikes on, isn't it? Because it.
No.
No, fuck.
The dagger, that's where you use the dagger, and I'll explain that in a bit. The only use for the dagger in Castlevania 3.
I must be watching the wrong stream.
No, because I'm using the dagger on that boss. It's just I get the axe after that.
Oh, right. Okay, alright. So, I guess we've been through categories, actually. So, who else runs this? I guess, well, I mean, it's you at the moment, but who else... Is anybody else actively running? I mean, I don't think
Nope.
you even race
Nope.
anybody.
Nobody else runs this. I've raced it maybe once or twice in SRL, but there's nobody else who really runs this game much at all. There's never been any Japanese records, as best as I can tell. So
As far as
it's just
I mean,
I've been kind of out in the wilderness on this one.
as far as I know, I mean, Bablo is the only other guy we know of who knows about this run a lot.
I mean, Vadava obviously would know a fair bit still, but probably not some of the newer tech so much. And then after that, I don't know really. Scrimpy, who does the current tasks.
Scrimpy tasked it. I'm just gonna have a quick peek to see if I can find any Japanese times. But I mean, categories, we've been over all of them. I mean, there's no 100% or anything in there.
Oh man! Yes! Let's go raccoon! Yes, this. Log trap is too strong.
It has been destroying people all day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
glad-
back to Castlevania.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think the Japanese actually run Castlevania games. At least the first ones.
I'm gonna have a find on this website.
I think I tried to find runs for Castlevania 1, but I didn't find any on Nico Video.
I mean, all I can find on this website is Castlevania, Castlevania Legend, and Castlevania Dracula-kun I'm Special.
Yeah, great game.
So I don't know if any of these are the actual games.
Sounds like a game that Fiesel would play.
Dracula. No, it sounds like something these will dress up as.
That's my second choice after Samus.
Alright, no,
Yes!
none of these videos help. So Kusuru just
Kusuru the God!
just won. What a man! What a man!
I'll have to watch that clip when they upload it.
So, I mean, I was mentioning this. I got tricks written down. So, I mean, there's not that many tricks in a Grant run, is there? I mean, there's a few climbing through things you're not really meant to climb through.
Yeah, like, there's a decent number of general tricks with Castlevania. Like, for example...
It's optimizations, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like when you have a very long fall, there's normally a pretty long recovery when you land, but you can cancel that by attacking as you land. So that's also in 1, and maybe 2 even as well. I'm not as sure about 2, but wouldn't surprise me. And then there's little things like the sub-weapon animation is faster than the normal attack for most characters. So, that can help at times. There's a glitch. There's a couple different cancel glitches in the game, although they tend to be accidents more than anything in a real run. Yes. If you attack on the very frame that you land from a jump, or the very frame that you let go of crouch, the attack animation will be canceled. If you do a melee attack, this cancels out the attack altogether, and I have died with Trevor trying to whip and doing that before. But if you throw a projectile, the animation is gone, but it still comes out. So that's why Grant can use do the stuff you're seeing now in this task in the Japanese version, because his normal weapon is the throwing dagger that the Belmonts have, instead of his normal weapon in the U.S. version, which is a smaller stabbing dagger.
Yeah, it's a different weapon entirely, isn't it? I remember. Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Bablo, what are like the task tricks that we don't, like Josh couldn't really,
Those are the task tricks.
Those are.
You have used the 1-frame window for not getting the animation. But
I mean,
you still get the
is there anything else, Tassie, that...
Like manipulation. But that's just for avoiding things, not getting them.
It's fair enough, fair enough.
All right.
So-
What
Yeah.
about the stairway glitch then? Is that that
Excuse
count?
me.
It's the
So
stairway.
the stairway glitch that you were telling us about.
Yeah, actually, I found that video.
Oh, yeah, you linked to the video.
And it
Yeah,
looks
I
like
mean-
it's actually being used for something.
Yeah,
Good,
actually,
yeah.
I'm not sure. It might be some seconds faster. But he used it a different way than I did. He found another way to use it, which is by changing the characters when you are climbing to another zone.
Well, why don't you explain how it works? How do you do this in the first
Yeah,
place?
so it actually... well, that's a different one than I've used. So, basically you're on a stairway, but it pushes you horizontally to left or right a couple of pixels, so that you're actually still climbing, but you are not on the ladder, so you don't get on the ground, so you can actually climb on air.
Just like keep
So
climbing
yeah,
up
it's
the
kind
wall.
of weird.
He's like, you know what? I want to keep walking up. I'm gonna keep walking.
Yeah.
So this is TAS only, is it?
I don't actually know. It might be tight timing. Very tight. I don't know. Should be tested.
Let's see.
Because this is not the way I used it. This is new.
How did you do it then?
Yeah, what did you do?
It's on different places. It's
Ah.
more simple. It's doable on real time. But it's only usable on, I think, the extra stage, or the so-called extra stage, which is the golden stage, I call it. There's the dragon boss.
Was
Oh,
what
right.
PJ was talking about earlier, was that him just being stupid, or can you actually do what he was saying at the beginning, before the show started?
Watch
About-
it.
You mean the glitch word?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one I investigated, and that didn't work out.
So
Take
what
that, Flicky.
what happened there? What happened there?
Number of things, actually, but nothing useful. I couldn't complete the stage there. Never.
So basically, you just kept walking too far and ended up
Yeah,
somewhere
too far
off
up.
the wall.
Up where there was no stage, actually.
You said something
So
about being
it's
able to
glitch word.
beat the boss.
Yeah, I
but
was
you
able
couldn't get
to
orb?
kill one boss, but I was on ladder while doing that, so I couldn't catch the orb.
Oh,
But
that's unfair.
with this glitch, it might be doable somewhere. So there's actually a lot to investigate.
A funny thing I just want to mention. So that stair climbing thing that you just saw for Grant, it's actually possible for Sypha to do that as well in certain situations, because one of her sub weapons is an ice spell. And what happens is if you freeze an object right in front of stairs and then climb them, you'll get that same effect.
Oh,
Huh.
didn't know that.
Oh.
I only play as Grant.
That's because he doesn't like Castlevania 3.
Straight from the first stage.
So, who did you actually play as? Was CV3 at the last marathon?
Yes, CV3. It's been in both AGDQs and also Japan Relief Done Quick.
Ah, yes. So who won the
It's a
donation?
donation challenge.
Okay, so Grant
Yeah.
won in the first AGDQ, and that run I died a couple times, and Grant run wasn't nearly taken to the level that it is now. So
There was-
I would like a run back on that at some point, but
It
we'll
was
see.
a very biased donation poll, I recall. Pretty much. I remember SMK was one of them. People who would only say that you can vote for Grant and so on.
Oh no.
So who was it this year? Because I missed the run this year.
So it was Sypha in JRDQ, American Sypha, and then this year it was Alucard. And we had a really nice bidding war between Alucard and Japanese version Sypha. I think around $1,000 between those two.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
There is a lot from that.
Good to see that we've actually gone through 3 different characters at each one. Then that's quite impressive.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's some variety. So okay, let's talk about like the Japanese versus the US version. So Sypha, especially there's Japanese Sypha and American Sypha. What are the differences?
Okay, so the general differences for the game, which I'll explain first. The Japanese version is probably easier overall, although I would say it's harder for the first couple levels, because the damage of enemies and attacks it's specific to the enemy or the attack. It's the same throughout the game. In the US version, damage depends on how far you're at in the game, and all things do the same damage, almost all.
Okay.
Which means that, the first couple levels you'll take more damage from things in the Japanese one, but then you'll take less damage in the Japanese one after level 3, generally. Enemies also have less HP. Well, not all, but specifically the Bone Pillars and the Axe Armors have less HP in the Japanese version. And some of the characters have different abilities. We mentioned Grant, how his stabbing dagger in the US version was replaced with a throwing dagger. That's actually worse for real-time speedrunning because the stabbing dagger is very fast. You can kill bosses surprisingly quickly with it.
I
The
think
throwing
that's
daggers
bad
were
damage
never good.
too.
And then the other thing too
Sorry, Bubba.
is
Could you say that again?
There's more damage too.
Yeah, the
No,
US
no.
one. No?
the US one you can do damage more quickly. It's the same per hit. It's just that the throwing dagger is a lot slower. And then also, Grant can only have a double shot for his for the axe in the Japanese version. He cannot get a triple shot, which he can in the American one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but is that actually useful? The
Is it?
triple
It's
double.
very useful. You really need triple axe for a number of boss fights, such as the mummies in the ghost ship. You need it. The sea serpents. You need it. Death. You need it. And Dracula. You definitely need it.
Yeah.
Really, all forms of Drac.
So is the
Oh, right. Yeah.
so I mean obviously, which is the faster version real time? Is the US version faster for Grant real time or?
I would say yes.
Right.
I would say the U.S. version is probably faster real time for Grant. The faster time on JP for the task depends on those crazy cancel glitches.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
all one frame specific, and you got to do hundreds of those probably. Not happen.
Were they fixed in the US version or did they just
Nope.
you know?
They still exist.
Oh.
Like I said.
Oh right.
I've
'Cause the
died
throwing-
on
I got you. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. No, it's cool, man.
Oh, I
Uh,
forgot. It's because they're projectiles on the Japanese version.
Yes.
I haven't been paying attention. I'm just also not paying attention.
But there's also various like all the characters have some difference or another between versions. For example, Alucard, his bat form uses up hearts only half as quickly in the Japanese one.
Wow.
The thing is that doesn't impact too much as far as the speed run. And another thing is with Trevor, the holy water has a smaller hitbox and deals one less hit in the Japanese version.
These are some weird differences.
Yeah,
Yes,
why would they do that?
the holy water has a different sprite. It looks like a milk bottle in the Japanese one. Did you notice in the tab?
Huh.
But because of that, I think the Alucard run would actually be a bit slower on the Japanese one because there's a quick kill strategy for the Alucard boss fight that involves manipulating his position and then throwing holy water so that the flame burns his head. Does not work in the Japanese one. It just barely misses his head.
This is so. I don't know. This seems like such a strange list of differences.
Yeah.
Alright. So what about Sypha? Because that's the one that you've done Japanese and US version runs of. Right.
So okay, so here's the deal. So I did runs on all 4 of the categories when I was at PJ's house because I wanted to beat all the records for that.
For
and
US
then
version.
later on, it's kind of a long story, but basically there is a famous Japanese streamer named Dogma Kazami, aka SiteCube, and he does a lot of really funny retro game type stuff, kind of sort of like Game Center CX. Kind of, I guess you could say. Lots of weird random old games. And so one of them, he did Konami YY World, and he had, Ghosts and Goblins is one of his all-time favorite games. So he saw Koreshi at AGDQ, and, he got in touch with them. And so Koreshi then showed him the Pianovania, because with Koreshi playing piano to my speedrun of Castlevania at the marathon. And so when he saw that, Dogma wanted me to do something on his stream. And so he gave me an AV Famicom and Konami YY World along with a couple other games. And
nice.
just, to see if I could beat the record. So he gave me those as well as the Dogbone controllers, which are really nice. Way better than the old NES controllers and what I still use. So much thanks to Dogma and his crew for that. So I did complete a run of YY World. I beat the record live on his stream during a 24-hour marathon deal, and I guess people loved it. And then I improved that record later, which is a run that I still need to submit to SDA. So thanks to Dogma for that. And then also, bringing back fighting games into it, Arcade Legacy in Cincinnati is a place where I go for tournaments sometimes, and they happen to have a Japanese Castlevania 3 cart lying around, and the guy running that, Jesse, he was nice enough to lend it to me to do the speed run. So I did it over the past summer, the run that you are watching now. And then he actually
you get hooked up.
He asked me to autograph the card afterward, which felt a little bit weird to me. But I'm like, okay, if he really wants to do it, I guess I'm not in a position to say no. So I ended up doing it. So there's my autographed cart in Arcade Legacy.
Yeah, it's a weird thing when you're being asked to sign something that you don't really feel worthy for. It's
Yeah,
odd. So is it
it's a
framed?
little bit
Is that
weird.
cart
Again,
framed or? is it still in use?
I'm not sure exactly. I haven't gotten to go there in a while. He moved to a new location just recently, in fact, and I want to go there sometime soon and say what's up.
You could be like, hang out with the ladies and be like, yeah, that's my car on the wall. That's my signature. So, hang on, wait, I got distracted again. So, we've been to Trixo. I mean, have you got any more you want to say? Because all I got left on this is how to learn. I'm sure you got more to say.
Yes. So, the character-specific differences, I didn't even get to Sypha. Now, Sypha is the only character that I have run in the Japanese version, and the only one I will run on that, because the other runs would be almost exact. Well, Alucard run would be almost exactly the same with a slower Alucard fight. The Grant run would be a lot more boring since I would have to switch to Trevor on more bosses, since Grant is a lot weaker. And then the solo Trevor is also a bit weaker in the Japanese version, so yeah, no interest for me in doing those. Sypha, though, the reason I wanted to do Sypha specifically is because her lightning spell in the Japanese version, if you hit a boss with all 3 of the lightning orbs at the same time, it does incredible damage. It takes a lot of bosses down to 1 HP. You can kill them even faster than with triple holy water. And then they nerfed that in the US version. They made it so that, you know, what I call a clean hit, when you hit all the orbs at once, it does no damage most of the time. It's almost like an overflow or something. It's really strange, but yes.
Over-nerfed it.
Yeah. Kills the boss.
Yeah.
Oh man, Dark King strats. Anyway. So yeah, that's why. So in the US version, it's funny. After I did that run that you see on SDA, the US version Sypha run, I later figured out that the fastest strategy for US version Sypha, never use her at all. It is faster to just stick with Trevor for the entire game.
Yeah. Didn't we?
And that is the reason
out?
I'm not going to improve that run, because it would be an exact carbon copy of the solo Trevor run. And I will improve the solo Trevor run, since that was worse than the Sypha run.
So is there any ruling? I guess it's a route rather than a character run, I suppose, so...
It's not even a route run, because you take the exact same route with Trevor and Sypha. Like, it's the exact same run, except...
You say yes.
Run,
You just say yes and no.
You let her join, in the other one, you turn her down. That's the only difference.
Awesome.
So
I think I remember that discovery, because we were timing it the same weekend that you came to my place.
Yes.
And you're like, wait a minute. I think this isn't any faster. And then I laughed really hard, and then we decided that we shouldn't tell anybody.
that seems like- I was under the impression that that could be the case, but I didn't realize it actually was.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yep. So the deal is, so as I said, the Alucard run is still great, and there's almost no changes that can be made to it, so I don't plan on improving that, at least not in the immediate future. Sypha run US version, I'm not going to improve for the reasons already described. The Grant run is what I am currently working on, because I now know for a fact that it is possible to take it under 31 minutes, with the current SDA time being 33:02. So this would be a larger improvement than my original run over Vadava's. That was around 1.5 minutes, less than that even.
Because you got under 31, but it was on a cart that didn't seem to lag, and then I recall you were a bit like, can I get sub 31? Can't I? And so now you're going for it.
Yes, I can get sub 31. In fact, I'll have to experiment with that staircase glitch in level 9 that the task showed off. I'll have to see how practical that is. So I'm gonna test that on stream after final round here.
Yes, because
That'll be my next thing.
Yeah, that would be a really cool thing to put in the run.
yeah,
I want to do it. I think I can do it.
it would save a bunch of time though. Looking at it, I mean,
because the thing is too, that's also one of the most random sections of the game, because you have to kill the flea men, and there's just a chance of them dropping sub weapons. It always scares me. So that would be huge. Anyway, now, where was I going to go with this? Okay, Grant run. Since you mentioned something about Grant and his specific strategies, well, with Grant, so if you can get up close to a boss and just constantly stand there and stab with the dagger, then that's actually faster than throwing axes, is just attacking with the dagger. Oh, that's the only one regret of this run. One of the few regrets here. I didn't get this damage boost. In that room, if the axe armor throws a low axe first, the next axe will be high, and you can boost off it up and to the right, which saves a little bit of time.
So what about damage boosts? I mean, they're in this game, but they're kind of... I mean, there's not as many as there are in other Castlevanias, right?
Yeah, Castlevania 1 is just like damage boost, damage boost, damage boost.
Yeah,
Not so much
Castlevania 1 just has a lot more opportunities to go up through floors with damage boosts. This game, the levels were designed a little more tightly as far as that goes, so there's not as many chances for that.
I mean,
Actually, you can't even boost up through floors.
Yeah, you can't even do that.
There's some
Actually,
exceptions.
you can with a character change.
Yes.
You can do it with Alucard too, can't you? If you bat transform?
Yes, well, because of the bat transform, you can glitch up through a floor, like or a ledge, if you get inside it and then transform.
Yeah. So you do that in stage 8, right?
Yes. Stage 8, the retro stage, indeed.
Yeah.
So from what I noticed of the TAS I watched, is there's a lot more damage boosts in that. I mean, is it just that it's kind of random, or? I mean,
Some of it is random, and some of it is needing to save health for random enemies, particularly birds, in case they happen to be dicks and just decide to fly into you. This is right here. This giant staircase section with the bone pillars. There's a room like this in level 5 and another one in level 9. They're both far easier in the Japanese version because the bone pillars take a lot longer to start firing, so you can just climb up past them in the Japanese one. It makes me so mad whenever I play that. Also, in the last level, when jumping across pendulums in the last level, the US version has bats trying to knock you off there. Japanese version...
Oh my god. Yeah.
Critical hit here on Frank. Yeah, just look at this.
So
That's JP Sypha for you, folks.
How did that happen?
Because of the critical hit that I explained earlier, hit the boss with all 3 orbs at the same time.
And it dies, right. I think Kusura was on when you were explaining that. That's going to be my excuse. Alright, so...
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Because all I got left, as I said, is how to learn it. I mean, obviously we want more people to play this game.
How to learn it? Well, this game can be pretty intimidating to learn because there's so many different characters and routes. I would suggest very strongly take it one character at a time and probably start with Alucard, because Alucard is by far the easiest and the least random of the different runs for this game. So that's definitely the beginner one. Grant is the toughest. Grant and Japanese version Sypha. And then Solo Trevor is like kind of sort of in the middle.
Why is Grant the toughest? Just out of curiosity.
Excuse me?
Why is Grant the toughest?
Grant is the toughest because, okay, his controls are not the easiest to get used to. In order to climb a wall or a ceiling, you jump and you hold the direction for it. So it's very easy to climb onto stuff accidentally when you don't mean to. Mm-hmm. And let's see, he has more frame-precise tricks, such as the corner grab glitch that the TAS showed off, where if there's a set of blocks, let's say there's a set of blocks, like 2 blocks, and then to the right of those 2 are 2 more just above them, like so it creates a corner. If you position yourself in a certain exact pixel when you jump, you can climb up through the corner when you're not supposed to be able to. I do that once in my Grant run in the Ghost Ship, and it is my least favorite part of the entire run. It's the closest 2D equivalent to Canonless, basically.
It's pretty precise. I've seen you do it a bunch, and when I first saw it, you got it first time, and you carried on, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. And then the next time you got through it, you sort of messed it up, and you kept practicing and practicing. I was like, oh, maybe that's harder than I thought it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to do it within your first 2 tries in order to save time with it. Otherwise, the ghost chases you and you're stuck killing him. And then that's the end for me. Then, let's see, what else? Oh, yes, the random climbing glitch. I never explained this, so... Yes, there is a certain point in Grant's climbing animation where if you climb up from underneath and up above onto a ledge, he won't go up, and instead he will just randomly fall off, even when you are holding the proper direction.
Oh no.
Yes. And then the boss fights, too, as far as why Grant's the hardest run. He's the only character who doesn't cheese the bosses out in a couple seconds. I didn't explain this too, but character switching is very slow in this game, like around 4.5, like 5, maybe 5.5 seconds possibly, and because of that, it's faster to fight almost every boss with Alucard instead of switching to Trevor, because that would add more character switches, which loses more time than you lose with the bosses as Grant.
I mean, you technically lose... Is it 4.5 seconds for each switch, as in switching just to him? So is it
like
9 overall, right? Or...
It's like between 5.5 seconds for each switch. And the thing is, if you switch to Trevor for a boss, you have to switch to Grant again afterwards, since Grant is faster for everything else.
You do switch for one boss, right?
I switched for one boss, and that is the 3 Coffins boss in this level that you are watching right now, actually. Because the mummies have more HP than they do in the ghost ship, and the gargoyle boss has the most HP of any in the game, more than any of Dracula's forms. So you just lose too much time with Grant on it. So
that was one of the main improvements over Vadova's runs, right? Because he always switched back to Trevor.
He always switched to Trevor for bosses, yes. So that was one of my only improvements at the time, but I found a lot more since. The improvements compared to the old run are just cleaner execution, taking less time to get the double and triple axe. I go out of my way for that a lot in the current SDA run, which I do not anymore. I don't lose nearly as much time for that. And then some of the new tricks and glitches that I described earlier, just along with general optimization. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot. So I think that mostly covers it as far as the Grant run. And then again, learning the game, again, if you're going to learn this game, try Alucard first, then Trevor, and then like siphon out then Grant if you really want to go through with it. But just focus on one character at a time, or else it gets too overwhelming. So
would it just be a case of watching your run, watching an SDA run, and just learning? I mean,
my SDA runs, you get a good idea from those. Yes.
I don't mean this in a condescending way, but it looks like what you see is what you get. You know, there's not much crazy. It's just about playing the game ridiculously well.
For the most part, yes. For the most part. And then, actually my marathon runs are in some ways a better indicator, because I go balls out in the SDA runs in some ways, and that's not such a good thing if you want to run the game in races or whatever, because you risk getting the sub-weapon drops, and you lose lots of time off of those.
So, I mean, you have, like, I guess, you play a bit safer in a race, I guess.
You'd have to in this, because of the drops. Even Castlevania 1 to an extent. Although with Castlevania 1, it's not quite as bad, simply because only certain enemies can drop sub-weapons in the first game, which everybody can in this one. And then you have Castlevania 4 and Bloodlines, which have no sub-weapon drops. But plenty of other issues of their own.
So if you're saying, if some guys are hanging out in SRL, like, wanting to race something, do you reckon they could pick up Alucard, could you do a blind race of this game? It seems kind of difficult.
It's definitely difficult for a blind race, especially if you die and you lose your triple holy water. Some of the bosses can be nasty. So... Yeah. That's one of the big things here. Is
blind race it as long as you don't want to beat the game.
Yeah.
We do a beat stage 3 race then, right?
Yeah.
That works. I've seen some of the blind races though. Don't underestimate these guys who do the blind races on SRL. Because some of the games they blind race are just ridiculous. I don't even understand how they can finish that game the first time they play it. Anyway, so yeah, just a case. So start with Alucard if you want to learn it, right?
Yep. Start with Alucard, and then if you want to go from there, just I would say regardless of what you do, I mean, save Grant for last, since he's the most, he has the random glitch, he has more execution than the others. So you just got to get used to dealing with the randomness of the sub-weapon drops and planning around that, and then you should be good with this game. There's just some precise tricks here and there.
So I guess, Pablo, you sort of started playing the game, I guess, with a view to start speedrunning it. I mean, you started playing the game and then started speedrunning it pretty close. So I mean, like, do you have any advice or anything?
You mean this game?
Yeah, because I mean, you said
I never actually speedrun this game.
Oh, but you did the task, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't count then, does it?
Right. But yeah, I definitely would be speedrunning this if only it had the Japanese music.
Well, you can emulate on SRL, so
I don't know. Maybe I could just play the Japanese music from Spreakers while I play.
Yeah,
it.
you could
Yeah.
just mute it
I
when
actually
you do
thought
attempts.
about that.
you can do that. You can get that set up. We have the thing called the internet now. We can do it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the cartridge and try it out.
If not, I'm sure you could find a ROM somewhere where someone's done it.
Nope.
No, I reckon you could.
Never. It's never been done.
Thanks,
No one has
PJ.
had this idea before.
Well, why you I obviously thought someone else had had the idea before. That's why I said it.
You gotta call the patent office. Hurry. This is being broadcast. You have to race against
Oh,
the
man.
other 200 people.
Alright, so really just a couple more things I'd like to explain then. So
Okay, hang on one sec. Can we just say we'll start taking questions then? And
Yes,
when
yes.
Josh is done, so send them in. We'll pick out the ones we like, and we'll ask Josh and Bablo when we're done. If
Okay.
you want to ask PJ and Diesel questions as well, I guess go for it. But yeah,
Go for
off
it.
you go. Finish off, Josh. And Bablo, if there's anything you want to add, just go for it.
Not sure.
Alright. So, with the Grant run, one of the big new time savers that I had found was, it's actually not a new thing, even though it is to a lot of people. I've known about it for years. Funny thing, my username actually comes from a Castlevania 3 fan site. I used to talk with the guy who ran it over AIM, and he was, he just started calling me Josh the Funk Doc, and I thought that was cool, and I just ran with it. And now it's just, I can't get away from it, so I've accepted it. It's my name, I gotta deal with it. Anywho, so yeah, so I've known about this for a while, this trick that if you're fighting the Cyclops in level 3, the forest, and you throw a dagger so that it's right over his head as lightning flashes, the dagger will sort of conduct the lightning and hit him. And it does 4 points of damage, but also freezes him in place so that you can combo him further.
See, that's what I
So
was talking about
that's-
earlier. That's one of my favourite tricks of the run, because it's like an Easter egg almost in the game.
Yes, it is. People thought it was a glitch or something. It's really not. It's definitely just an Easter egg. So, I see. I knew about it, but I didn't think it would save time before because you have to use the dagger, and the dagger is otherwise complete and utter garbage. But I recently figured out that if you get the axe at the start of the ghost ship level, you can still get the triple before the boss. So I can then use the dagger in level 3 just for that one fight. Then get the axe and have triple shot for when I need it. So it saves me a lot of time overall. Because Cyclops is a bitch. Cyclops is my least favorite boss in Castlevania. His weak spot is his eye, and he just randomly charges all over the screen. And if you're Sypha or Trevor, you can't even jump over him if he charges. He's very annoying.
Yeah, he's a pain.
So, there's that trick. And then the last thing is regarding these solo Trevor runs. So, part of the reason I've decided to go back and improve that run, besides my awful last level in the SDA run, I literally lose around 40 seconds there, if not more. But I just discovered this recently while taking a break from Grant, that my new strat for solo Trevor run, I will be using the cross in levels 3 and 4.
Nice.
Whoa.
I just figured this out not too long ago, because Trevor, normally, he takes a very long time to kill Cyclops, much longer than Grant, because he can only hit him once per jump, and so the fastest way to fight him is to sit on a platform and just crouch and whip his eye and just hope he comes near you, which is random. He randomly moves around the screen. It's very frustrating. So what I do now is, I get the cross at the start of the forest level, and I can get it to triple before the Cyclops, and I will use it there. And so you save around 5 or 6 seconds over an average Cyclops fight with just the whip. Holy Water is useless against him because it doesn't hit his weak spot. So that's why I have to do what I do. Now,
No, go on.
so then I beat level 3 with that, and then level 4, that also has a Cyclops. So I do the same thing there. And I lose less than a second on the Medusa and around a second on the mummies with it. So it saves me, this could save me potentially around 10 seconds total. Because I can get Holy Water then in level 5 and get double and triple both during the auto-scroller. So I will have triple Holy Water for Frankenstein and all the rest. So that's going to be pretty cool, guys. You'll get just about every sub-weapon into this run then. So hope you all check that out when I start working on it.
So does that
Sounds
come in
good.
after Grant?
Yes, that will. After Grant, I
Mystic
think
Quest.
I'll do. No. My next project after Grant will be Cutthroat Island, the 100%.
Oh no! Why?
Because I'm practiced up for it. I found new strats. I have
He
to do this.
wants to lose all those followers he gained.
Yeah,
Right. This is a game
Yeah.
that makes PJ cringe, apparently. So
that's right
gotta
when you
tell
apply for
something.
partnership.
So yeah, when are you getting partnered?
I'm gonna wait a little bit on that. I'd like to have a bit more more streams with consistently 200 plus viewers under my belt. Maybe when I get to 1,500 followers or thereabouts, I'll apply. We'll see.
So yeah,
So
yeah, I
right
mean
when
you could
start Cutthroat Island attempts.
Yes.
That's when it's gonna happen.
And don't forget the other thing too. After I finish the Grant run, the real next thing. Oh no, Heroes of Wrestling, baby.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not a video game. It is a show, and it is one of the best things, one of the worst things, one of the worst and the best that you will ever see, I can assure you. Those who saw my old stream of it back in the Ustream days can attest to this.
I have seen the
Are you excited, Babylon? Are you excited for it?
very.
Pablo, I think he got in for it and he was scared off before. So
Yeah.
let's hope he takes the Macho Man's advice and decides to be a man this time.
You even told me I would be scared of.
And did
And
you
I stayed
listen?
for 2 other minutes, and you thought I would be gone before that.
All right, so Babylon, is there anything else you want to say about CVE3 before we do questions?
I think it's all wrapped up.
I think we're all good. All right. So I wrote in the chat, Feasel. Well, I tried to write this. Feasel and PJ get questions, and neither of them have got any questions. So luckily,
Perfect Dracula fight coming up here, guys. Just want to say. This
Oh
is
yeah.
faster
Pay
than the
attention
past.
to the video.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't even see you respond.
Now, this is actually, believe it or not, Red Scarlet. Yes, that Red Scarlet helped me figure out this strategy. Because she was watching my stream once and just said, hey, maybe you could switch characters to take the lightning orbs off the screen. And I went with it, and then you're going to watch and just check out this magic. So, Dracula is going to go down in one platform rotation, and that's the game.
Wow.
That's an unbelievable
nice.
kill.
That is an absolutely perfect Dracula fight.
Good to get that at the end of a run too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty fortunate. All right, so I got a question here then. So someone asked what the favorite modern Castlevania game is, which apparently includes Symphony of the Night. So is it Symphony of the Night for everybody, or?
Soten for me, by far.
I think
I didn't know. Wow. There is a Castlevania game after Castlevania 4?
What lines?
Yes. No.
I
Castlevania
forgot. I didn't know that
64.
there was any.
Is there a Castlevania 64? That sounds probably like it would be the worst one, just by
It
the
is.
I
fact
beat
that it
Castlevania
that doesn't
64
count.
with both characters as a kid. True story.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Don't ask. I also beat Muppet Adventures back then.
See, that sounds good. Muppet. I like the Muppets.
No, Flicky. No, you
Oh.
do not know Muppet Adventures. I will not
Oh,
even
sorry.
run that game.
No, we can't
It's
even.
not
We're
even
just
funny
gonna
that-
end this discussion.
Yes,
So
yes.
is Game Boy Advance modern?
Yeah, yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll count it.
I'd have to say Harmony of Dissonance. I really like that game.
See, I've only actually played Symphony of the Night, and I didn't get very far. I was gonna play one of the latest 3D ones. I forgot what it's called, like Lords of Shadow or something. But no,
Oh,
screw that. Screw actually playing that game.
I think, unfortunately, my favorite's probably Harmony of Despair. The XBLA one.
Which you've now started running, have you?
Well, I had started running it like 8 months ago, and it was so frustrating to do that I stopped. I did like one IL, and it took me like 20 in-game hours.
Okay, so I just want to list a few things. So PJ also has run Mohawk and Headphone Jack, which most people can't even follow, and is currently running Super Ghouls and Ghosts, right? Where
Oh, really?
you have to reset if you don't get the right weapon. What's your success rate on the torch now?
On the Torch,
Yeah.
it's probably pretty good, because I can use the emulator approach.
So this is the two games that PJ runs, and he says that Harmony of Despair is too random and annoying, too
Yeah, it's the
frustrating.
worst game I've ever speedrun.
That must be pretty awful.
It's pretty impossible. Yeah, it's not fun to speedrun. It's a really fun game otherwise, but
So Feasel, I think you dodged this question, buddy.
I'm sticking by my answer that I thought there were just 4 Castlevanias.
So we're going to assume that your favorite is 2, or
It's I guess 2 or 3. It's tough to say.
it depends if you want to like a good game for once or not. So
I can't believe
The
he's
good
still
games-
dodging it.
The confusing
He
ones.
is. He's
I don't know what to tell you.
untouchable. He's like, I don't know. He's covered in butter or something. Like I can't hit him.
I like that idea. Right.
All right. So someone says no Soten Punkdoc. So I think Kusuru's on actually. So yeah, he is.
Yes. yes.
Explain.
He's about to tie it up. Gonna be 1-1 here soon, unless he gets the miracle Virgil come back, which he can. Virgil's actually not that bad for that, but
He is.
I still like Kusuru.
Yeah, this is still winners. Kusuru's 3 characters to Yipes is 1. So, right. Rom Scout, Bablo, are you gonna get back into console running again anytime soon, or?
Yes. I actually don't know why I stopped it. Actually, I do. My splitter broke, which was from Deal Extreme. Yay. It's hard to get one. Insanely hard. I searched for a
Finland's pretty
DVD player for solid 2 months. I looked everywhere. I even emailed all the creators of
Did you try importing one from the UK?
I even got so desperate I asked on this SDA forums, and Nate offered me to send me one if I paid him, but then I found one from a local market here, and it was the only one I ever found.
So, I mean, Finland, so that probably cost you like twice as much as it would in America, right?
To get the whole set, yeah.
Yeah, Finland's not the cheapest of countries. So, I mean, what are you going in for? You said earlier, but I mean, if you want to...
I have a few games. I could potentially improve every game I've ever speedrun, which is Castlevania 1, Wizards of Warriors, and that's about it. But yeah, then I have Chip and Dale I'd like to do, but then I found someone has done a better speedrun. It's on the verification.
Yes,
Rescue
actually
Rangers.
Rescue Rangers. Actually, 2 people have run that. Clage did it first, and then Feasel. So
Diesel.
Yeah, I saw the Clades run, but then I saw I could easily beat that.
So, hang on,
But
Feasel.
my run, on the other hand, that'll take some time to beat.
It's your run.
It's Feasel's run.
Oh, didn't know that.
Well, now you gotta beat it, because you know it's
But
this
then
clown.
I have to ask, is it 1 player?
Yes, it's 1 player.
Yeah, because you could actually do a 2-player run of it. I think
Yeah,
it could be faster.
it was definitely faster with 2 players.
Yeah,
Diesel,
but
what are you waiting for?
The
Get
thing
over
is, how hard is that to do on 2 hands? But
Oh,
that would be really
I've tried
interesting.
it.
Wow.
It's doable, but that'll
Did you
take
try
some
it?
work. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, because
Well,
I'd
you
really
have
like to do
feet,
that.
too.
That would be kinda fun.
That would be
I think so.
awesome. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. There is already a 2-player, 1-person run already on the site, isn't there? But it's only is an event match in Smash Brothers Melee, isn't it?
Yes,
I think
that's
you're
right.
thinking of 2-player, single player.
Yeah, 2. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of what the word was. Sorry, PJ. I'm sorry
Oh,
I
wow,
can't live up to your
single player.
standards. Yeah, but there's a Pikachu. I think it's 100. What were they? Were they wireframes in Melee? I think they were. 100-man brawl, 2 Pikachus, and you fighting wireframes the whole time. I can't remember who did that, but that's a pretty cool run. So do Bablo, go for that. That'll be an epic return.
Yeah, that would be
Yes.
quite fun, actually.
So did
Maybe I
both,
could stream that too.
both
Oh.
of you quit speedrunning and have now come back? Or rather took a
Yeah.
break? I don't know.
So yeah, I found a splitter that works like a year ago, but then I did nothing with it. I don't know why. I actually thought about picking up a game like half a year ago. That was Game Boy Advance Kirby, the adaptation from the NES one.
Oh,
yeah.
what, Nightmare in Dreamland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
That's
But
the one I
then,
played.
Actually, I bought the game. I played around with it. But I actually kind of didn't like it. Mostly
Yeah.
because of the RNG, and I don't know, it kind of feels clumsy.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really be into running a Kirby game because it's like not difficult in how to play it. So if it is hard, it will just be all bullshit. So
Yeah. The enemies have great RNG, or great AI in that game.
But
Because they
then-
won't make any
then
attempt
again-
to dodge or attack. They'll just like
Again,
run.
so does SCV4. And yeah, I did a lot of work on that, and just took all the credit. No, I'm happy with my contribution to CV1 and SCV4. But then again, I might come back and actually improve one of those. Who knows?
Alright, so I guess we're going to read this question out anyway. I mean, I trust Duckfist. So Darkwing Ducks, Fafisa wants to know why you haven't manned up at Rygar yet.
Actually,
Why I
can I
haven't
add
manned up on
Can I
Rygar
add
yet, huh?
my last question?
Oh,
The game
right.
I'm going to speedrun
Oh, yeah.
most likely is Contra Rebirth.
Oh yeah, you did
Oh, yeah.
say that.
Good choice.
You've
On
got the...
hard difficulty.
So, I'll have to ask
One-
this question, because this is something Nez Kamikaze was talking about of the marathon. Are you in really good shape, like lifting weights at the gym, running like 3 miles, supermodel status? Because Nez Kamikaze has a theory that every Contra runner who's
Looks like the Contra
actively,
characters.
who's actively still running the game looks like the Contra characters.
Is that directed to me?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
No.
Oh,
There's no tapping on Contra Rebirth.
Uh,
You only hold a button.
oh,
but you don't
damn,
have to mash?
that's not a real Contra
No
game.
button
It's-
mashing.
Yeah, it's
Well, but mashing is what gives you those big pecs and biceps that make you look so good.
well, big pack, just the right pack.
Just
It's
one
gonna
pack,
be huge.
Yeah, that's why you look a Contra character.
Dang. Well, there goes the idea of making a calendar of Contra runners.
It would be like the first 4 months would be great, and then by the 5th month you're at like Uyama and you're like, oh. And it just gets like, by the 9th month you're like, I don't even want to look at this calendar anymore. Like, who is this? Oh my god. It's just a passed out hobo on the street. Hello, Mr. November, here we are. Oh, he's spilling his whiskey everywhere. Nobody knows what Mr. December actually is. We
It's like
got-
that butter blob from the Bio Force 8.
The Butter Monster and his 2K monies. Only that
Alright. We got a few more questions. I think Kuzuru just won, so...
Yes.
Yeah, Kuzuru just knocked Yipes into losers.
Take
Is
That yeah. I was watching that during this
Yeah.
this year.
Is it
Not
Final
quite.
4?
3 because the Mihei, the Planet Zero guy, the Zero player, Mihei got 4th, so it's PR Rog and
Oh,
Yikes
shit.
in the losers finals.
And Kuzuru's in winners. Oh, wow. Sweet.
Yeah.
Man.
So whoever wins the next match is going to play Kusuru in grand finals, but they have to win 2 sets, 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Kusuru only has to win 1.
Alright, so... Axon64. Funko, have you ever considered running Bloodlines, Rondo, or Adventure Rebirth?
I've briefly entertained the thought of Bloodlines and Rondo. Bloodlines, see, I have a bunch of Genesis stuff, but it's all buried in storage where I can't possibly get to it. So that's kind of an issue for right now. And if I were to do it, like, I could see myself improving the Lacard run someday if I really wanted to. Like, Stansky did a fantastic job on it. There's just new tricks and glitches that he didn't know about at the time. Like, overflowing the sprite limit to completely make a mini-boss disappear and not have to fight him at all. That kind of thing.
Hey, that sounds like another game, PJ.
Lawnmower Man strats.
Lawnmower Man strats. Or as we
And-
discussed earlier, is actual, not real strats, but something you tell people happens.
Exactly.
Let's see. What happened? Then Rondo. Rondo just seems a bit more dry than the other older Castlevanias, but I could see myself learning Richter only maybe or something. Never Maria though. Fuck Rondo Maria like every
Oh,
which.
yeah.
Cannot
was,
stand that character.
That was at the marathon we did the Maria race, right?
Satoru and Sir VG, yeah. And then after I think didn't Uyama straight up say he doesn't want Rondo again unless it's Richter only? I think I kind of remember that.
He's not keen on Maria because she's cheap and annoying, right?
Basically, she's just cheap, really.
Just cheap.
She has a double jump, I think. She rolls through everything. She has broken sub-weapons. She's not a Castlevania character at all. And not even in a fun way like Grant.
Alright, so
Well, Miguel also asked if you'll ever run Legends. I don't know how.
I will never run Legends, sorry. And Axon, Adventure Rebirth, that's another one of the issues with Rondo. I do not own a Wii, and I never will, so... Adventure Rebirth, I've never even played. And yeah, there's been work on Adventure Rebirth anyway.
So then, Skybill's, this is an interesting question, quite different from the other ones we get. Says, as a fellow college I have not probable. What is that?
Perspective.
Oh, probable.
Probable.
Oh my God.
Probable.
It's called English.
Did you invent
the
this
country
language?
invented it.
What is wrong with you?
Oh my God.
All of your credibility was just eliminated.
I just
Damn.
I committed
No
ritual
fable.
suicide.
You hate to see this happen.
It was the
Wow.
// It was the / that did it.
Sorry, Skybills. This question is not filled.
As a fellow college / probable graduate student. Oh my God. How much time do you spend a week for practicing? Or how much time do you allow for practicing or for streaming?
That is a very interesting question indeed, and I'm not surprised that Skybill's asked that. Well, the deal is, so yeah, for those who don't know, I go to Oberlin College, and I major in neuroscience, and that's one of the very first schools ever to offer a neuroscience major to undergraduates. So it's a very good and very tough program, and it really takes up most of my time. It's the reason I stopped being a full-time fighting game player, basically. And so dealing with that, I plan on going into grad school as well, so I had to deal with GREs and such last semester. That was not so much fun, but I made it through. And generally speaking, the amount of time I spend streaming and doing speedruns, it can vary a lot depending on how much work I have, which is very much up and down. But on average, I guess you can say maybe like 1 to 2 hours a day, and that more weighted toward the weekends, if anything. So...
Because, I mean, your stream's blowing up at the moment. You're getting quite a lot of viewers every time I see.
Definitely.
It got a lot of viewers because I wasn't overloaded with work at that time. This past week I was. I had 2 exams and a big group presentation for my senior seminar, so that's what took up the time there.
Well, you gotta make them wait, dude. You can't just give it to them whenever they want. You gotta make them want it.
So that's why I haven't streamed yet. That I've done more work over the weekend as well, plus really watching final rounds. So, but yeah, I would say that would be my answer. Like, 1 to 3 hours a day. It really depends on how much you have as far as work goes. So that would be my answer there. And matter of fact, after final round is over, I am going to stream more Castlevania 3. So that will be my first time in quite a few days here. So school finally letting up enough for me to do that at the moment.
I mean, here's the sad thing is unfortunately neither Mike nor Nagleria got a Sonic 2 world record in the last week.
True.
Like they were Sonic 1 rather, like they were meant to. So
well, let's see. Mike got a Sonic 2 personal best, which may or may not beat Stansky's.
I don't know if it does or not, but
I don't know. We're not going to count that as official.
No.
So
He came close. So FunkDoc, you gotta keep up with Caleb. I think we'll keep a tally of who's broken a world record in the week after they were on the show.
yeah.
So you gonna try and break that?
I'm gonna do it.
Ah, sweet. That's what I like to hear.
Doing it, man.
Good.
All right.
I just gotta figure out this new trick, which I'll do in the stream. That
Stairs,
stair
yeah.
glitch where you go up the invisible stairs in level 9. That's the first thing I'm going to work on stream here tonight.
That's cool. That's cool. So
So Mike here says he beat Stansky, but he's not submitting it. So
does
I don't know. Do we count that?
I mean,
Or-
Tease.
I don't know. FunkDoc, what do you reckon?
Let's not count it.
Let's give it a half count because it's
Yeah.
Sonic 2,
Point
which
five.
wasn't the game that
All
we
right. Well,
featured.
Sonic, we'll give you a half point, Mike. So All right, so you want to be like Caleb though. You gotta beat that. You gotta beat that.
Yep.
So Funkdog going to stream after the show. Obviously, as you should have noticed by now, below the picture, the map on the stream, there is Funkdog's Twitch TV information.
Yes.
Bablo didn't have anything like that. So do you actually have a Twitch stream, Bablo, if you're going to start streaming in the future?
I made an account like a long time ago, but I didn't set up the streaming stuff. I hate doing that, and I actually didn't speedrun anything since, I think.
But you're going to start now.
Yeah,
'cause
I might get one up later.
So just keep an eye out for Bablo. If you see him about, give him a follow. Obviously, PJ and Feasel, me and Duckfist. What the hell just happened to my mouth? Okay.
Especially Duckfist.
And Duckfist. Duckfist is going for Mega Man 4 well, at some point. He's going to beat Agawaf at his own game. He's been practicing pretty hard.
And Mega Man 10 after Giano
Mega
beats
Man
his
10.
time.
Yeah. Well, when that happens, we'll have a Mega Man 10 show, so...
Or Showdown, as the case may be.
Ooh. He's all hyping people up. Alright, so... any shout-outs, Bablo, do you want to go first? Anyone you want to say hi to, or anything you want to pimp?
Yeah.
Nah, cool. Just shout-outs to Finland. Any...
Stuff is boring.
Yeah.
I don't want to...
Yeah, I will just
invent
announce
stuff.
that I want to be back on the speedrunning scene.
Excellent.
I
Sounds
really
good.
want
Good.
to. Like,
Glad
I
to
have
Yes.
the equipment
Good.
now. I'm ready to do it. Why not?
We'll take
Yes.
we'll take
Have you?
we'll take all the
Sorry.
credit for that one, right? Just
Yeah.
for the
Yes.
record.
Better
But
start
actually, you
right.
can take half the credit at least.
Okay.
Okay.
Fun
Yes.
have the other half, yeah.
So so Bablo, so are you officially out of the League of Legends vortex now?
No,
Oh,
I'm
man.
still playing it.
Wait,
but-
you're a LoL player or on EU?
Yeah, I've been playing League of Legends at
Do you play EU West or East?
EU West.
Oh, of course. And we got to play, dude.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
haven't played in a while, but... Hey man, it's a hardcore game, man. We got the biggest fan base. We got the biggest
Yeah,
fan base.
that actually doesn't take too much of my time. I
Oh.
don't like solo queue. It's so boring. I hate it.
Sucks.
So yeah, I have
But
time.
seriously,
for
watch out, Thumbdog. We're coming for you. We get 3 million viewers every stream, so better watch out.
I have to deal with MOBA chat and IRC every day. I think I give a shit.
It is funny with the LoL stuff. I remember when they first got like 200,000 viewers on the stream, all the StarCraft 2 kids were like, it must be a bug, that's broken, it's a glitch. Like, they refused to accept that a game could be more popular than theirs. It was hilarious. Anyway, Funkdog, shout-outs, anything like that.
Yeah, definitely a big shout outs to definitely all my different IRC channels out there, especially SDA, Speedruns Live, Geese Tower and The Room, and Capcom, among others. And big shout outs to Kusaru for repping Guilty Gear, as well as Jan and all the rest of the old school players out there keeping it up.
I think
Waiting for that re-release.
Grand Finals...
Y'all got to get on that. Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Best game out there, still.
It is pretty awesome. Accent Core
Yes.
is pretty...
Yes, this man knows.
It's fun. I wish I had more people to play it with. Unfortunately, I do not. So there's only so much single player you can play in a game.
Yep.
Unless you're a speedrunner. I just realised how that is not true at all for us. Anyway, PJ, Feasel, do you have anything you want to hype up this week? Or
I think
Me?
Kusager is the only applicable shout-out here.
yeah, Kusaru.
He really is.
And a big shout-out to Bablo for actually staying awake for this.
Yeah. Also,
Nice.
obviously,
Yeah.
really good. Bablo, it's 4 a.m. about where he is now. And
I even woke
wow.
up like super early today.
Yeah.
For some reason.
You were online at like 9:40 your time or something.
Yeah.
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 To any
Oh yeah,
future,
didn't I talk to you this
And
morning?
I had fever when I woke up.
to
it's
all
gone
the
now.
future
Andy's sick too.
to all the future Europeans who will be on the show.
And I actually never speak English, so this was
Yeah,
very
you're
hard.
doing pretty. I mean, it's fine. Good.
Doing
good
better than Flicky is.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, Babel.
shut up. For Babel, it looks like that should be. It's a weird spelling, all right.
You're a weird spelling,
It
alright.
should be like double B or something. Anyway, so any future Europeans on the show, Bablo not only stayed up late, but he didn't even complain.
Right.
He didn't even say anything. He was just like, "Yeah, cool, I'll do it." So I'm looking
You know,
at
I
you.
used this
Tom.
time to taunt Tompa, but he already went to bed, so...
He went to bed before we even started. So once again, Finland outdoing their Swedish cousins and staying up much later. So we'll be back. We'll probably be back next week. No, we're definitely back next week with Super Mario World with Dram and Minion. That will be a sweet episode.
Yes.
That'll be awesome. As you may have noticed below the stream info, we also have a link to the link database, where Fiesel will be updating that with all the video links from the episodes. So if we've mentioned something on this show, a run you want to see, and you can't quite find it, check out that link after the show at some point. Fiesel will get that done. Won't you, Fiesel?
Yep, I will. I will sometime before the next episode starts.
Good stuff. So, yeah, next week, Super Mario World Jam 55 and Minion will be on the show. Week after that, we have Contra with Mr. K and Herblat, so check that
Contra
out.
3, not Contra.
Shut
Big
up.
difference
PJ.
here.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Alright?
You had me at Herblot and Mr. K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mayor K. That's what the Mr. It's MR dot, but it stands for Mayor.
Oh, does
Mayor
it?
K, right.
Yeah.
So expect that entire stream to have just a picture of the two of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Expect very little content
yeah.
episode.
Then the week after that we have Donkey Kong Country with TJP and Tompa. So a lot of Swedes and Americans coming up.
Yep.
Interestingly. So yeah, we filled up a whole bunch. Check us out being well prepared. We are like 4 episodes in advance.
Now we just have to ask our guests if they want to do it.
Yeah.
Alright, so cool. Obviously, thanks a bunch, Bablo, for staying up, coming on the show. Funk Doc, thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you very, very much for everything.
That's cool.
And,
sure we'll have you back at some point, Funk Doc.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll see what's up. There's plenty more Castlevania stuff to go around. Clage, Former Human, shout-outs to all the Castlevania runners out there. Rom Scout, Mecha Richter. Keep doing your thing, guys.
Sweet. So again, yep, thanks PJ, thanks Fiesel, thanks Duckfist.
Thanks, Flicky.
Sweet. Oh,
Thank you.
you. Thanks PJs. Alright, so yeah, again, check out SDA, check out SRL, check out TAS videos. If you want to send us any news, any records you know about, find us in IRC or message our Twitch page. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks very much for watching.
Bye.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody. And go Kusaru!
Go Kusaru.
We
Go for
Do
it.
it.
we need an outro video now.
Yeah.
It should just like abruptly end halfway through.
Duckfist has just made more work for himself.
Yeah.
Alright.
Kusaru is playing right now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Eduardo looks lost.